What do you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
This is the beginning of something special, something different. The games may change, but competition and skill do not. Students coming together to represent Fresno State with support and leadership. Fresno State students will discover and develop their potential. From all walks of life, esports players are passionate.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the NECC. My name is Vincent. I'm joined by the wonderful, the amazing Jim Lowry. How are you doing tonight?
Not bad, Vincent. How you doing tonight?
I'm feeling great. Honestly, we've got a great matchup here. Semifinal time here on the Valorant side of things, and we have UC Davis 1 shaping up against Florida Gulf Coast. And you know what? This is Champions Division. This is where things are very serious, and well, there's a lot of serious players here playing tonight. That being said, UC Davis sitting at 9-0 against FGCU, who unfortunately are at 5-4 right now. A little bit of a mismatch, wouldn't you say?
A little bit, possibly, but however, they both made it here to the semifinals. Regular season doesn't matter once you hit the playoffs.
True.
It's win or go home, and they both have made it here. With that being said, I am going to ask our producer, as far as the people we are seeing in lobby, is there a substitute on the side of Florida Gulf Coast? And he's going to tell me an answer to that one.
I don't know. I do see some. I see what you're saying though, Jim. There are some different names there, but maybe just has changed the name in game. You can do that from time to time. I don't know.
Usually we get that updated on our notes though, so I just wanted to make sure.
We do try to. Maybe we didn't get that info fast enough. I don't know. The good news is it's not my problem. That's what I'm all about.
It's our problem if we mispronounce one of the names there.
No. See, that's just it. I just don't take responsibility. You got to get with the program, Joe. Just don't take responsibility. It's easy. Well, I mean, speaking of names, though, names that you might have heard of: Smurfsicles, Esperanto, C16. By the way, various. I feel like these are names that I have said often over the course of this season. It's kind of been incredible. I feel like we're kind of watching the players of the Valorant Champions Division, like the best of the best, the creme de la creme, if you will, of this division. And I think there's a reason for that. UC Davis undefeated in that regular season, like we were talking about. And like you said, it's win or go home. So they've won a game in order to get to this point as well. So I mean, listen, it was definitely tight there in the midfield for this division. FGCU, they ended out 5th overall, but they were tied up with Johnson and Wales Blue and Sac State 1 for that place. And I think that, honestly, to me, that just kind of shows how close these teams are, Jim. It's really not a whole lot between them. And despite the fact that you might be expecting UC Davis to pull off a bit of a sweep here, anything's possible.
You would be the one to ask here. You've done a lot of the Champions Division this year. I unfortunately got relegated down because nobody likes me here, Vincent. So I was doing some of the lower matches, which are equally fun to watch, don't get me wrong. But you are right that the higher levels of Valorant are being played right here in the Champions Division. And the people you named off there, especially Smurfsicles, Esperanto, and C16, are the ones to watch here tonight.
Well, and I mean, listen, just when we were taking a look at potential players of the week, like I feel like C16 was in there basically every other week, at least. The same thing with Smurfsicles. In fairness, I saw Triple R a couple times too, so don't count your chickens before they're hatched if you're a UC Davis fan. But nonetheless, there's certainly some opportunities. The map pool that we've got for you fine folks this evening is going to be the El Clasico, basically. Bind, Haven, Ascent, those opening maps. And well, listen, I love to see the Bind. I'm happy that we're going to wait till Ascent for a potential third map, because I only ever cast Ascent. That's the only map that exists in the game. At least that's kind of what has happened. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I'm happy, excited to see what we can bring from this semifinal. And I mean, really, it's all on to FGCU. Can they deny UC Davis a position in the grand finals? Because I'll keep it real with you. UC Davis, they deserve this grand final spot. They've been playing incredible all season long.
They only deserve it if they win, though, Vincent. They only deserve it if they win. Florida Gulf Coast can play spoiler here. And if they play spoiler here, I would say they would be the favorite going into the finals.
You're right. And that's just it. I don't know the other side of the bracket, in all fairness, so I don't know exactly who they would be looking at. But all things to be played for here is kind of what you're getting at, and I think is fully fair enough. You really like to see, a potential upset opportunity. I do think that's going to be very hard, particularly because I think that the bind here from UC Davis is incredibly strong, as well as the Ascent. So even if we get to a map 3, Jim, it's going to be a tough ask for the FGCU side of things to really get over that edge. But again, possibilities are brewing as we get down to it. We're just figuring out some ping problems here on the server side, so our apologies for the bit of a wait. But I mean, Jim, what do you had to put a percentage on it? What do you think FGCU's chances are of taking this one away?
I mean, as a straight mathematical probability here, Vincent, it's 50-50.
You would do that to me, wouldn't you?
I would. However, based on previous performance this year, I would say if I was a gambling man and if I was setting the line, I would say about 15% Florida Gulf Coast. And this is where Twitch chat could go ahead and spam the hashtag Coach Jim is wrong. Feel free. I get it a lot, but 15% is what I'm going to give them.
All right. Well, I mean, not that we're putting on the channel points on the line, but make sure to throw those down in the gauntlet. Unfortunately, you can't necessarily get those back. I'm not in control of this Twitch chat, but I will say that it should be interesting. I think I'm on board with you. 15% sounds about accurate. Which, I mean, if we were on the betting odds, those should be some sick odds. I might be putting a couple bucks on there just because, but yeah,
I mean, it'd be about 8-1. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sick odds. Hey, listen. You gotta always look at the upside, Jim. Stop being so negative. Come on, man.
I just didn't think 8-1 was that sick odds. Dude.
I mean, listen, it's sick odds if you win.
I'm just saying, like, dark horse odds usually are like 30, 50-1. So.
I mean, you're right.
8-1's within the ballpark. 8-1's
yeah, but little do you know, I have more faith in FGCU than you do. So it's a win-win.
You would kind of have to at this point.
Oh, we're an outrageous duo here.
No hate for Florida Gulf Coast. No hate. It's a great school, nice campus. I've seen great-looking pictures of it. So going on bind here, 3 already locked in. Phoenix, Omen, and Raze.
Indeed. The other side of things, it's 5 lock-ins. Actually, very standard composition right here from UC Davis. Is they've pretty much locked exactly what you would expect. The double duelist composition that has been so popular for so long here in North America. And looks like we're going to see the exact mirror, as it is going to be FGCU locking that exact same composition, the Omen with the Cypher, Raze, Jet, and Sova.
I think I might have had a glitch there. I had a bunch of blanks, but it said 5 locked in, so. Gotcha. Client bug. Gotcha. My producer letting me know, giving me the info.
Indeed. You know, this is a great game with no bugs whatsoever. Really glad.
Riot Games, small independent company, Riot Games.
Yeah, indie developer. Like to see that.
Make sure you support them, guys. They need our support if we want them to keep going.
Right, exactly. You know, make sure. So buy your $70 skins.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
At shop.riot.com. I mean, anyway, whatever. We're not shilling for Riot. We are out here shilling for NECC. In all fairness, but that's an awesome company. And Riot,
we're supposed to be shilling.
Debatable. You know what isn't debatable? The Valorant going on straight on our screens as we're going to get the opening here with that Cypher. Looking to find some information. Information he does find. UC Davis here on the attack, as it's going to be FGCU defending first. Ooh, that's a nice grenade there from C16 and Various as well with the frag. Nice little dink there by Parker, but unfortunately unable to connect a follow-up to get the frag. Mountain, though, does find the follow-up and the frag as well, but quickly gets dispatched for the trouble. Parker now in a good position. Nobody currently looking this direction. Now someone does. That was the Sova, but not able to really do much of anything off the back of that. Now 2v4. looking to retake from the elbow position is FGCU, but they've kind of run into a bit of a roadblock. Nice reposition there from Parker, but again, takes some damage and has to fall back for the reload. Curveball in, and unfortunately cannot follow that up with much of anything. Sean has one frag, but not much more, Jim, as that's the first round for FGCU, or rather for UC Davis. My apologies.
UC Davis, great round there. Got the plant in off a really good push, and then was able to hold against the retake. Had a really good position to hold from, and they had FGC in a bad spot back in that hallway.
They did, man. That's not a... I mean, elbow's a good spot to retake from, but not when you're only an elbow.
Yeah. Money being spent here. UC Davis spending some cash.
Yeah, they are. I think this is reasonable. Not really a whole lot of cash being utilized there for Florida, as they just have 1 or 2 upgraded pistols. A shorty there for that Cypher, and well, not much more. As the first engagement does not go the way of that Cypher, as C16 gets the opening a couple of kills with the beautiful shotgun that is the Judge. As it's 3v5 now and 2v5 as I speak. Well, C16 makes everything happen. You'll love to see that.
Good work there with the Judge. I'm a big fan of the Judge. It's not as accurate. Nice shot there by Sean. Not as accurate as the assault rifles, but just the path of damage you can throw down.
Oh, nice
Sean
shot.
with another.
Very nice shots by Sean, making that round a bit more expensive than really it needed to be, but you know what? I think that's gonna not really matter in the long run. The cash is fairly healthy there for UC Davis, but every frag there counts, and it matters a whole lot for the long-term, economic stability of this team.
2 3Ks that round, 1 from C16, 1 from Sean. So seeing players emerging as good carries here for both teams early.
Indeed, and I mean, Sean may be the surprising factor there, but C16, I mean, we talked about C16 in the opener here. Definitely a standout for this UC Davis side. And now, against rifles, though, this is going to be a bit tougher. We were talking about the potential for a one-sided game, but, maybe not. Parker able to connect the shots, a headshot there onto C16, who had yet another Judge in hand. That one not quite as effective against rifles.
Not quite what they were looking for there. And the first time Florida Gulf Coast has an agent advantage here.
Indeed. A good position to be in, and you kind of slowed down this push. We saw, despite 3 losses, not a full investment here for UC Davis. They just took the SMGs. I love how passive we're seeing and patient we're seeing Florida Gulf Coast play right now. They don't want to give anything away. They know they've gained the advantage, and so they want to take advantage of that advantage by not giving it away for free. I love it. And,
the really slow play here from UC Davis. But the good news for Florida Gulf Coast is they'll be able to use this short teleporter to come in on the flank as soon as UC Davis gives themselves away.
Indeed, they can, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. The push onto the site is successful. That being said, Sean comes in from the back line and picks up a frag and mountain through the cage, able to connect as that Cypher comes in for the final frag with the Sova, by the way. I mean, I know that we saw that before, but I just feel the need to mention it now. That Cypher is playing Sova, so...
Okay. Oh, see the name. I got what you're saying now. My bad.
Yeah.
Great push there on the side of FGC, going through that short teleporter, getting on the flank, and doing what they needed to do to win that one on the defensive side.
Indeed, they did. But now here is some, upgraded weaponry for the offense. Just a Bucky in the hand of C16, but everybody else has full rifles, and those rifles doing wonders. Various with that opening frag. That Cypher on the Sova is looking for more throughout a shock dart, but unfortunately was not really able to connect with much more than a wall, and is going to fall back for that one. The Bladestorm popped for the Jet on the defense as both of those bits of utility go wide. The run it back going to be utilized by Esperanto. That's an opening frag. Attempt with those Bladestorm for Parker, but again, not there. So Esperanto gets 2 with that run it back. Ultimately, a huge ultimate to open up the site. There's 2 players left alive now, and T16 spotted out 1. That's Mountain, who come through spawn, and Esperanto with that third frag of the round onto Triple R, who is hanging out underneath in the U-Haul position. It's now all on to Mountain, who's getting flanked by 2 sides, I believe, and is going to find one player sitting right around the corner of this dark cover as well. So ultimately, this is going to be a tough spot. Not really any way to win this unless, I mean, we just see UC Davis start throwing bodies.
I maybe a situation where they should try to save here. Maybe that kind of situation.
Mountain certainly should.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe Mountain should maybe get the heck out of Dodge right now. They're walking the wrong way for that, though.
Just looking for an exit, but that's a bit dangerous, I will say.
Yeah, now Mountain gonna get out. I don't know if they're gonna survive. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they're good there.
They're good.
What is this shenanigans going on over there?
I think it was the salt spray. They were getting a bit salty there, Vincent. They're getting a bit salty.
I hate it when I get salty. It's the worst. Absolute worst. I'm just inconsolable, you know? Inconsolable. Unfortunately, it is maybe going to be FGCU who's inconsolable after that round. Rough one, to say the least. Heavy investments in the Hunter's Fury and the Bladestorm, but nothing really gained off the back of it. Now, granted, the run it back was utilized as well on the offense, but realistically, that's not as big a deal. And Smurfsticles opens up the round once more. A nice little bait and switch, but is, oh yeah, not at all ready for Parker.
The shorty kill.
Oh, but the follow-up by the paint shells is just as good. Smurfsticles with more. The triple kill is confirmed by Smurfsticles. Is now it's on the Mountain, who did save this one weapon, but is now got to find 3 players against 1.
Now, with all that being said here, there was very little buy-in there from Florida Gulf Coast. So for a save round, getting a couple kills, Mountain might still be able to get another one still. Not bad for a save round, for an economy round there.
Yeah, not too shabby. I like the shorty as well. I thought it did pretty good. But Mountain's got some climbing to do. As, well, this
Vincent, was that a pun?
Oh, a pun? Never me. Never me. I couldn't do that to you. But, I mean, either way, Mountain's in a tough spot. There's no doubt about it. Maybe he's between a rock and a hard place.
Just about.
I don't know why you're going for this here. It seems a bit questionable.
Got a kill, though. Got another kill.
Yeah, but died for it.
A little bit of an economy play there, though, making them rebuy on the side of UC Davis. You can't just let them hold on to their weapons forever. Making them buy, just making them run down a little bit of cash. Only one person, they have a full buy, but only one person, 2 people, I'm sorry, have above $4 grand. 3 of them are with a full buy or below, or at 2,500 or below. So, you know, trying to keep them not with the most robust economy could help you in the later on.
I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't think that one kill mattered that much.
Well, we'll see here, Vincent. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Certainly could happen, but
Op available on the side of Florida Gulf Coast.
Indeed, yeah. And the first stop, I think that we've seen certainly could be big, could find huge value, but we'll see how it goes. Mountain is up close and personal, and ooh, there goes the push, and Parker with that operator able to do a great job and find an opening frag. The follow-up was good as well, as now Nick is nearly found out by Parker, but depends on how this goes. The rotations are in at A, but look, there's 2 players there for the defense, so realistically this push is not going to be netting a whole lot. Nick is just kind of waiting for anyone to give something up for free. If Esperanto finds Triple R, this could be pretty devastating. But I don't think Triple R is going to be giving too much away at this point. No information, no real audio given away. There it is. The swing was there for Triple R, but Smurf signals with the frag, and Nick as well finds that operator, and now it's going to be the 3 versus 2. UC Davis somehow pulling this back from the depths of defeat as we see a sonar dart getting prepped and thrown, but not really going to be able to be followed up upon. That Cypher, a 4th position, could find a frag, tries to get out with their life, does just that, gets a bit of a tag, but that's a nice frag. Smurf Signals is very, very low, but there's still 2 players left, and Sean's one of those. Operator recovered, but not quite enough to hit the shot. As Nick takes that Cypher out, it's all on Sean, who has recovered that operator for the 2nd time and utilizes those blast packs to get away.
I'm saving the operator. Huge economy there. Big economy move. Not a terrible round from Florida Gulf Coast, but they've got to do better. It's just that simple. Just got to play better.
Just get better, Forehead. Is that what happens? Whenever the team's struggling, Jim, you're like, just get better, guys. Come on now.
What I like to tell my team is shoot better.
Shoot gooder?
Shoot better. And in most games, that's all I have to say. Overwatch, Valorant, Rocket League, I go in there. If we had a rough one, I just go, guys. And it's actually written on our whiteboard. I just go over and tap the board. Shoot better. Shoot better.
That's some classic coach material right there. Just tap the whiteboard. Like, listen, we've been over this before, guys. You'll figure it out, all right?
Shoot better.
It. Yeah.
Shoot better. No, in this situation, though, Florida Gulf Coast, they're not playing poorly. You're starting to see a little bit some of the advantages that UC Davis has. Their accuracy, for one, is massive. Just massive. But Florida Gulf Coast, anytime they're in an ambush position, have made their shots. And that's what they have to keep doing.
That's true, but, I mean, they just lost a 3v5 right there. That is quite devastating. You really got to...
3v4.
No, I think it was a 3v4.
It was a 3v4.
Okay. All right.
Mountain traded for the 2nd kill.
Either way, it wasn't good. And that certainly ain't. Operator versus the rifle. Should maybe see the operator win that one now, but no. Nick stands strong and makes it look quite easy in the process.
That's a nice shot. Nice shot there from Nick.
Indeed it is. Mountain, who unfortunately gets tapped and going to get tagged through this cage as well for the troubles. There goes the run it back. Esperanto with that one. Could clear out this site, and indeed does just that. The hot hand's not really going to be all that effective. There's the curveball, but the run it back and run out just in time. 5v4 now. The retake is on, but with limited rifles, limited utility, and limited engagement funds, this is going to be a difficult one, and indeed it has been. Nobody left alive except for that Cypher, who does have a Hunter's Fury and a Sonar Dart, but is probably going to not have their life for much longer, and indeed that is the case. Does find 1 for the road, but ultimately a solid round, and it's now 6-1.
Save round there from FGC. I believe everybody on there had a sheriff. Everybody there had a sheriff on that one.
Yeah, everybody getting involved, you know?
But a decent save round. Operator repurchased there for Parker on the Jet. 2 ultimates ready for FGC. 1 ultimate ready on the side of UC Davis at the moment.
Indeed. 6-1 as well. A scoreline it's not unwinnable from. I mean, this is not over by any means, but it's certainly not an ideal position to be in on the defense of Mind. You know, I'd love to see some attempts at aggressive plays for FGCU. Like they're playing very passive. I mean, we saw that run it back. Sure, it was an eco round, right? But you know, on that run it back, they basically just gave up the B site entirely for free rather than trying to fight it. And whilst that's a valid strategy, I think that at some point you have to make the decision to fight it. Because put it this way, those 5-on-5 retakes, 5-on-4 retakes, they're just not working out very well.
Personally here, looking at, I would invest a lot more defense at B. UC Davis has barely gone to the A side. At the moment, they're going full B, full send B for like the first 7 rounds here. So if I'm
they've been
Florida
to A like twice.
they've always rotated back. They've always rotated back though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think I would defend B a lot heavier than A.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could always stack it. It's a tough ask.
It is.
Because, you know, as soon as they find that out, they just rotate around, and then you're back into that tough position. You know, you're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't in some cases. But, well, darned is Mountain. Just gets one. That's a one and done position if I have ever seen one. And the frags, they're all coming up red. Nothing but red in the kill feed. This Triple R is the sole survivor of that massacre and needs to rotate into the 1-on-3.
There is where he needs to be. Let's see what Triple R can do here. Lot of vision blocking going, but it's all gone now, so we're going to have a chance here. Triple R, if they want to get froggy, now's the time.
Lots of utility, paranoia, as well as with teleports, and a nice frag as well. The swing, though, by Smurfsickles is a little bit too good. Triple R was kind of prepared for it, kind of knew it was coming, but unfortunately was just unable to connect the shot. You know, a valiant effort. That first shot was very nice, but not nice enough, unfortunately.
First shot was perfect, right between the eyes, right where you want to put it. Just the follow-up, just a hair trigger slow on the follow-up.
Yeah, and I mean that was you were fighting against the laws of nature right there, especially because you had no idea if you're Triple R where those players were sitting, and you know it's just a matter of the reflexes, and unfortunately not quite quick enough. Whoa, what a find!
Another save round here from Florida Gulf Coast.
But look at that. I mean, you talked about the you know stacking of a site. Well, they stacked B, and there was one sonar arrow found all of that out. And so now they rotate all the way back, all around, and it's all just a ruse. This is very, very good. A perfect paranoia is good for Triple R, but unfortunately for Triple R,
oh, no.
the frag from Smurfsickles was even better, and the double spray down is strong. Sean just trying to push the button to go to the next round, as unfortunately that button, it doesn't exist. You can't do that.
Not. And just... This is what I'm talking about. Just so much invested going to B. So much invested going to B. Even when they rotated toward A, they went right back to B.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but also, I mean, it was a really intelligent rotation. I really liked that.
Oh, great. No, nothing wrong with the rotation. And it was perfectly executed. Perfectly executed.
I just feel bad for, who was it? Triple R had the paranoia prepped and ready, had 4 people paranoid. But unfortunately, Smurfsickles just connects the one spray to hit him in the head. Yep. It's like, come on, man. Like that's just, you just throw your hands up in the air and you're like, dude, I didn't deserve that. Like,
no, not at all. did not deserve that at all.
No. I feel bad for Triple R on that one. It really sucks when that happens, and I mean that's just classic Valorant for you. A teleport there early on to create a crossfire over there in the middle position. And Nick just kind of decides he doesn't want any part of it. The C16 has a forward spot over here on the A side. The paint shell's not going to do much of anything, but there's really no one here to defend other than Triple R and Mountain. Triple R has already found that first frag. Not too shabby. A cage going out, and ooh, you can find some positioning and some space, and Mountain finds the frag through that cage. Well done. Doesn't even need to see a player apparently to take that frag. Is now it's straight onto a 3v5 where realistically there's going to have to be some magic happening for the attackers of UC Davis to pull this one off. The dark cover does go out in order to deny some area, but I mean realistically there's 4 people here on the site, and I mean yes, you have the spike of your C16, but I mean, there's not a lot to contend with. You only have from the shadows, and now the utility has kind of faded away. That being said, C16 ekes their way out of showers and finds the opening frag. Parker now in the corner has to do it all. The swing getting ready to come in, but Parker elects to wait a little bit as the paranoia comes through. Smurfsicles, though, finds that frag despite the paranoia, and there is still 2 players left alive at the time. It's a ticking down, though, and finally converting that frag. C16 needs to get the spike planted. Unfortunately, there's a Hunter's Fury in the way, though. That is good enough to get the spike planter, and Sean was there to defend that Cypher, as that round kind of goes straight down to the wire, but ultimately it is a victory for Florida as they return fire. But is it too late?
Florida Gulf Coast needed that one. That was a full investment round for them. They absolutely needed it. That Cypher able to go up there, grab the operator before the round ends, so they didn't have to reinvest into that operator, hands it back over to Parker. Maybe that's the reason we haven't seen UC Davis go A-side. What do you think there, Vincent?
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but, you know, I do think that it was a good round for Florida. I think they did a great job of hanging on to the Hunter's Fury there to the very end to deny the plant. And I love the idea from Sean to wait there for the aggression from the teammate. Knew that could be a possibility, and well, that is certainly a possibility, a 1-for-1 trade. But Esperanto's not particularly ready for Sean, who once again has gotten into a cheeky spot. That being said, it's a trade, as is 1 player left alive, and that's very unfortunate for the likes of Mountain. That being said, that Cypher does get the trade on the other side. So it quite literally is 3 trade frags, and now, or rather 4 trade frags either way, and we're into the 1v1.
Sova v Sova.
Oh, and this drone is going to give away the information, unfortunately, of the opposing Sova, and actually pulls out the Hunter's Fury. Gets 1 tag, but not much more. So, oh, that's brutal.
The wall bang.
Peeked out for 1 second. And the wall bang was there.
Last round in the half.
Absolute.
Various though. That was nice.
Indeed. Yeah. Absolute brutality right there from UC Davis, or in general just from the Sova of various.
Gonna be an unfortunate final round here of the half for Florida Gulf Coast. Not enough money for an investment. We're to see 2 rifles, a judge, a submachine gun, and a sheriff.
I mean, they've made an investment, but it's a weak investment. You know, they're struggling for the cash, maybe needing to pull out some loans in order to afford the necessary weaponry. But unfortunately,
that's what college students want to hear, Vincent. Got to take out more loans.
Yeah, well, the good news is you can't take out any loans in the game of Valorant. And that unfortunately does mean you just are straight up screwed when you don't have the money. And, well, Mountain might be able to put something to use with this low buy, and does well to get that frag. It takes a bit of damage, but ultimately gets that kill. As tries to play around the cage, but Nick is too prepared. The showstopper goes out, but doesn't find anything, as well as the From the Shadows. So that From the Shadows, speaking of which, does go over here at A, and this is a bit dicey. I'm not sure what the plan here was. Fortunately, Smurfsicles had a forward position over here and can defend this spike, and the frags continue to flurry the way of UC Davis. Is now it's on to Parker, who's got barely anything left in this one. The run it back used just for kicks, and C16 kicks the can of Parker straight down the line, as that's the half.
Switching sides.
You know, I don't know if I would say that was just for kicks. It got the information for C16 that when the damage went down onto Esperanto, C16 step out of the smoke, he got the easy kill.
I mean, you're right, but it also was just for kicks, because it was 1v3. That's more what I meant.
I mean, last round, no reason to save it.
Nope, no, not at all. It was a perfectly fine decision, and you love to see not wasting that ultimate. It's a high value one. The run it back.
It's one of my favorites, just because it lets me die twice, and I'm pretty bad at the game. So
fair enough. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for an extra life when I'm just terrible, but it also gives you, like you said, information and can be quite effective at that. But 10-2, this is a very rough half. Florida Gulf Coast in a position that no one ever wants to be in. Has to come back 8 rounds in a row to tie this game back up. And what a great placement of that shock dart. I'd love to see that. And being said, it is the push here on to A. And Triple R has done some things and done some of those things well. Just a couple of players dead there at A. The push here from Various. Ooh, that shock dart actually does connect with Sean, but Mountain is there for the trade as well. Ultimately, though, Esperanto with a couple of kills in C16 from Beyond the Grave, able to connect with those paint shells. 75 HP remaining for Esperanto, and gets tagged by the camera of the Cypher, but realistically, low HP for either of these guys. Mountain at 60 and Triple R quite low in their own right. Well, that's a great way to peek. Just bait him out with Triple R, and Mountain comes in for the frag as soon as the player turns around. It's 10-3 now, and FGCU, they've solidified themselves at least another couple of rounds in this game, as they've got that pistol.
I mean, really well played there, I thought, from FGC. Really great teamwork at the end there. Like, I'm going to tap him, then when he turns at me, you go out there and get him. And at this point, weapon advantage, economy advantage here. SMGs and a judge against a Shorty and 4 Classics. So we might see FGC take a second round in a row.
Certainly might. I mean, realistically should, in all fairness. That being said, nice little stack over here. Nicely done. That being said, it is a 1-for-1. And ooh, what a right click. You like to see that one. A judge now in the hands of Various, but at the cost of lots of health. Parker sneaks his way out into the spawn area, and Smurfsticles falls to that aggression. There's 2 players left alive here, but against 3, this is not unwinnable. Make it a little bit more unwinnable, as with 37 health, this is really not an ideal scenario. Ooh. That, though, is an unfortunate mistake from Parker. Just kind of gives away a free frag, and like you were talking about in the last half, you know, every one of these frags matters.
Great arrow there from Sova. That Cypher on the Sova with a great one right there.
The old chalk dart coming in. I'd love to see that one. As it is 10-4, but now, I mean, now things get serious, Jim. You've got full rifles available for UC Davis, and I mean, that's scary.
Florida Gulf Coast making a decision on what they want to do here. They've got to be talking about the buy. It looks like they're going to go medium buy on this one. And Parker's going with a frenzy.
Yeah, but you're down 6 rounds here. I think you full buy. Just to be completely honest with you, I feel like that's the right
I agree
decision.
with you 100%.
I mean, this is just a must-win round, and Parker, looking for the re-aggression, does actually get a 1-for-1, but I mean, when you're down 1 player already, that 1-for-1 is not ideal, because it just thins the herd a little bit. That's what I like to say. Now 4-on-3, and you're still down a player, as Esperanto gets a bit of a backward position, not wanting to give too much away now that the 4v3 is pretty much just guaranteed. So rotations coming in, but ultimately this 3-player setup for the attackers is going to have to find some success somewhere.
I think they need to rotate back around, or maybe pull a UC Davis and rotate A and then teleport back to B. But if they have to stay together, though. In a 4v3, if you think they're split up defending, you've got to stay together as a 3-stack. That's your only way you're going to make it work. Yeah,
but look at how stalwart the defenders here are for UC Davis. 2 players on each site. And now the rotations are coming in because, well, the information has been gained. There's 25 seconds on the clock, and the spike is getting planted. Unfortunately, there's a Hunter's Fury there for Various, who doesn't quite deny the spike plant, but does find the frag on the Triple R, and so that thins things out even more. As now the retake has to come in up close and personal with that judge. Certainly could find something. Sean does just that. Finds a double kill as well. Recovers a paint shell, and that's an unfortunate position for that to come back at. But Sean continues to find the frags. Has 3 now, and there's only 1 player left alive. As that is the Cypher. Pulls out that showstopper, but ultimately not going to be doing much of anything with it. And the spike is so far ticked at this point that Smurfsticles is definitely not going to be able to save, or rather not going to be able to go for it, is going to have to save. My apologies. Slip of the tongue, but nonetheless, a nice round there for FGCU in a 3v4 as well.
3 in a row there from FGC, and that was a partial save round for them. So great economy on that round as well.
Yeah, they went for the bonus and they made it work. I do love that. Granted, they unfortunately lost some players early and it made it a bit easier, but you know what? It doesn't matter how you got there, just that you made it.
And it looks like this is going to be a thrifty round here on the side of UC Davis. So this could be another one here. Florida Gulf Coast making their move. Parker with the Blade Storm already out.
Yeah, Blade Storm popped and ready, looking for something. Nice paint shells does not really a lot of damage. A bit of a tag on the two players as Parker gets that forward position, but Various and Esperanto both say no thank you. They shut it down. That being said, Esperanto, now the sole defender of the site, has fallen back all the way into Hookah. Now looks to maybe ingress a bit further, but he's going to probably wait for some help and does do that. Nick is going to have to deal with Sean with that long-range weaponry, and with just a shorty, that's certainly not great.
This is a hard retake here for UC Davis. With their economy not the best right now, I think this might just be a save. If you save here, you'll have the ability... Oh, and Nick goes down. That was the run it back as well.
Oh, I don't love that run it back usage, but I mean, I guess if you... I know, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Lots of kills.
Esperanto gonna get 3K there, but they're still gonna lose the round at the end.
Yeah. Smurf Sickles didn't have a gun. That's why they went for the death. Wanted to get the extra cash. So makes sense there, but obviously Esperanto did have the gun, so wanted to save that over into the next round. That's worth a little bit more.
Full buy here from everyone, and this would be a massive round. The economy is on the side of FGC right now. They have 4 in a row. If they get this one, they'll most likely get the one after, because there will not be enough for a full buy again for UC Davis. I want to see FGC right here.
That's what they got to do. Let's see if they convert. Oh, Parker, all you had to do was shoot, pull the trigger, and it would have been a frag. Unfortunately, not going to matter. Nicely done. Oh, not so nicely done. C16, I thought got away, but actually not so much, as Nick gets tagged as well for the trouble. 5 HP, or rather 5 bullets left, and unable to connect. Nick, should have gotten caught out. Honestly finds one where you really shouldn't have found any. But ultimately, this round, looking FGC uses, means 4v1.
Spike planted.
And Smurfsicles now with a choice. Now they have a weapon. Do they save here, Vincent?
I mean, I think so. It's 4v1. You probably don't go for this, but
maybe look for an exit frag on your way out.
It's dangerous. I think the right decision is not to do that, especially not when there's an operator holding you.
Yeah. Maybe not the greatest choice, although the holder of that operator, very low health.
Yeah, but he don't know that.
He might.
True, he might. You're right.
His teammates could have told him. If they're good teammates, could have told him.
Yeah, you're probably right. He probably does know.
And the hard bail here at the end. And Florida Gulf Coast wins another round. And this one's starting to get interesting here. Vincent.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I never want to say it too early, but this is starting to look like it might be comeback time. I mean, 7-10. It's already.
About it. That's an ugly buy there if you're UC Davis.
Yeah, no, it's not a great buy. And realistically, we should see Florida Gulf Coast come away with this round if nothing crazy were to happen. And you know,
showstopper ready for C16. That could get fun.
Yeah, and there. Well, speaking of fun, C16 looking to have some fun with this thing. Unable to find anybody. Does spot out a nice little spike though. So that being said, the information is gained by the attackers. You know what's going on. That being said, Sean gets that first frag, and a nice shock dart is going to do some big damage. Unfortunate miss there on the second one, but C16 now falls, and triple R. Well done.
Nice shooting.
Popping heads with that thing. This triple R is 2 players left alive. Smurfsicles does find a frag with that recovered gun. Actually finds a second, but ultimately not too much else. Is 8 to 10. Like I said, this is starting to look doable.
And full buy here from UC Davis. If UC Davis doesn't take this one, that's going to be terrible. They got 3 people under 500 credits. If you don't take this one, it's going to be bad the next couple of rounds.
I mean, this is the time. This is where UC Davis, they need to stop playing around. They need to stop losing rounds, to be honest with you. I really don't think they're playing around. I think they're just getting outplayed right now. But
you know what they need to do, Vincent? Shoot better.
You're right. They do need to shoot better. But we'll see if they do just that, taking your amazing, wonderful advice. And
that's what I'm here for.
That's right. Love to see it. And unfortunately, just missed that tripwire. It's such a cheeky tripwire as well. The one on the ground right there. I love it. We'll have to see if that comes into fruition. Parker looking for something with this operator, as actually gets tagged out by that sonar dart. But the spike is yet to be planted. That's what's coming in now. And it's going to be that Cypher to get that down. Nice tagged by that Cypher. And oh, that's huge. Frags going the way of UC Davis, almost all of them. And now there's one player left alive. That's Parker, who meets their demise with ease. As Stiggles in the back of the skull, because it's now 11 to 8.
UC Davis really needed that one, and they got it.
Indeed.
And we've finally seeing an operator coming out on the UC Davis side.
It's interesting.
C16. C16's done.
C16 is very proficient with this weapon. No doubt about it, Jim. No doubt in my mind. Oh, I do think that it's interesting that this is the time, after finally breaking that curse, that you bring out the C16 operator. Certainly, maybe not the first choice I would have made, but I would have thought maybe you bring that out a bit earlier. But nonetheless, Sean, speaking of these Rays players, going to be pulling out the showstopper, maybe going the wrong direction there, but again, once not able to connect with anybody, Stiggles was too far deep into the elbow. I like the aggression from 3 players here on the attackers, just trying to get a forward area to defend. That Hunter's Fury just a little bit too late. Does end up tagging a player. Does tag a friend as well, but Various takes out Triple R with that Hunter's Fury. So ultimately a positive investment, as now 3 players look to retake. The sonar dart going to come out. Esperanto just healing up for a little bit of time there. Not wanting to get taken out before they can get big value, but Various, the big value in this round, has that frag, and now looking for another, has the third. Nick chimes in, and Nick chimes in for more. It's a full house of frags between Various and Nick, as it's now a 12th round on the board for UC Davis.
And that was huge there. Various coming up with it. Various now top fragger on the side of UC Davis, with that 3K right there.
Big frags. Big frags.
All right. Florida Gulf Coast not going to go away, though. They had the money, full buy. After 2 losing rounds, still had the money for a full buy. Florida Gulf Coast saying, we're not done yet. What are you guys talking about? We're not done yet.
Somehow enough for an operator as well, which is fairly nice. It's on the back of Parker, who's looking to go over here towards short. C16's operator unable to connect with that opening shot onto that Cypher. The paint shells go out, and the follow-up shot is good. Nick as well takes out the opposing player in Parker, who was swinging in, looking for some more. Triple R now looking maybe to play the luck game, but ultimately I don't think that's all too wise, as there's still an operator ready and waiting. Nearly pre-fired that angle, though, so maybe, just maybe, Paranoia comes out. The timing shot not quite good enough, as what? C16 repeats that.
Triple R did get Esperanto, though. He missed C16, but he hit Esperanto behind them.
Oh, yeah, that's very big. I did not catch that live, and
that's why C16 was falling back, because Esperanto died behind them.
Yeah, good call.
A huge play there. As their plant's gonna go down. Like this, the turnaround right here.
Oh, speaking of a turnaround, there's another one. Nick with a triple kill, able to close down this game number 1 at the semifinals here in Champions Division. But I mean, that got way closer than it had any business being. A 10-2 half turned into 13-8 score line here on Bind. I don't think that we realistically expected that one, and I think that honestly, you could say well done for FGCU. Bind was the map pick for UC Davis, which means that now as we head on to Haven, the map pick of FGCU, they certainly could expect some advantages off the back of that, but ultimately it was Various and Smurf Sickles topping your leaderboard here. 265 average combat score there for Various is not too shabby.
The one I want to point out just below him, Smurfsicles, a little bit less on the combat score. However, only had 8 deaths. Only person on the map with less than double-digit deaths, and their economy rating was the highest on the map as well. So not as high of a combat score, but I think played a better map, all in all.
Yeah, I do like that. Smurf Sickles was playing it safe, not getting too overly aggressive, and actually had the same amount of first bloods as Various did. Which means that within the team, we're kind of playing similar positions. So nonetheless, we are going to give FGCU a couple minutes to catch their breath, Jim. We don't want them to get too famished here, as they can maybe get some water. Maybe you can too pick up some popcorn for what could be a very exciting map number 2. It was 13-8 in map 1, and UC Davis, they're going on to their opponent's map pick. Don't go anywhere. We'll return with more Valorant action in just a few moments.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Alrighty, after that short little break, we have returned for what will be map number 2 of this semi-final duel between UC Davis and Florida Gulf Coast. This has been map number 1 was, I mean, interesting to say the least. 10-2 half in the favor of UC Davis turns to a 13-8 scoreline that UC Davis just barely eked out at the end. So, Jim, what are you expecting here as we move towards Haven?
You know, Florida Gulf Coast, they proved it on map 1. They're not a team that's going to go away without a fight. So I think this one's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think everyone's excited, and I hope that we can get an exciting matchup. And I want to say that, whilst I think that UC Davis probably closes it out here. I think they're just a little bit better. I think that FGCU have a chance. I think they definitely could pull this off. It's just going to be a matter of, firing on all cylinders, getting things moving quickly, and especially if they catch UC Davis off guard like they did in the second half of the last map. Anything can happen. Like you were saying before, the score lines during the regular season, all that irrelevant. All that matters is what's right in front of you and you trying to make a run for that grand final position and ultimately the winner there as well. So I'm thinking that we could see much here. That being said, a huge individual plays coming through from the likes of Smurfsicles. And I mean, in fairness, on the other side of things, I thought Triple R had a good game. But I mean, who is it for you that was the big standout player and that you're now looking out for here on map number 2?
For which team?
Either one.
Going through it, we were talking about C16, but everybody on that team was doing well on that last map. 3Ks across the board. Various had a couple, one of them late. Nick, though, in the late game there, Nick came from the bottom of the list and bottom fragger and got a lot of work done there at the end. On the side of Florida Gulf Coast, Sean. Looking at Sean and Parker, those two to get it done. I think this one's going to go the distance. I think we're going to see extra rounds here on map number 2. My prediction, 14-12.
14-12. That's bold. Very bold. 14-12 in whose favor?
I didn't say in whose favor. I just said it's going to go 14-12.
That's just cheating. That's just cheating.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Vincent. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. With that being said, aimbots are wrong. Don't cheat.
I'm getting some mixed messages here on the desk from the coach Jim himself. I'm, don't know how I feel about it, but it's okay. We're gonna keep trucking right here, and honestly, I think that it's probably not gonna be an overtime one if I had to guess. But hey, my hopes are there. I can hope and I can be with you whilst also saying maybe that's a bit of a crazy prediction. What I do like
crazy maybe, but if it comes out, come on.
That's true. You do look like a genius as soon as you do that. We are just figuring out some issues with the client of a player or so, and once we get that sorted out, we will get straight into the game. So our apologies on the delay. That being said, you get to watch us and our beautiful faces talk a little bit more about this beautiful game that we call Valorant. Are we going to see the same compositions here, Jim, as we saw in the last map, or does Haven lend itself to different characters?
I think Haven does lend itself to a little bit of a different comp, but that really comes down to the players, what they're comfortable with, who they think they can do the best with as far as the agents are concerned. I think we're going to see a lot of similarities with one or two standout changes. I think we might see, let's see here. Hovered as a breach. That would be definitely a change there. And on the other side, it looks like Florida Gulf Coast is going to go over to the Phoenix.
Indeed, yeah. They, in all fairness, it was, I think they had a Phoenix last game.
No, Florida Gulf Coast did not. They had a Raze.
Raze Jet, yeah. That's right. But, Sean on the Phoenix, it's, the Raze is not nearly as good on this map. I think it can fairly be said. So it doesn't surprise me to see no raise here for FGCU. Otherwise, though, this composition looking very, very similar. The same thing can be said on the other side of things. Again, the only real difference is C16 maybe going to swap up the raise for the Jet here. At least that's what's being hovered, but I don't have that confirmed just yet.
It'd be interesting, both teams giving up a raise and then going mirror match here with the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes logical sense, right? Especially considering the fact that the Jet is really good here on Haven, much better than on Bind, just period. Not that Jet's bad on Bind, but also the more wide corridors allows for the paint shells to get significantly less value than you see over there on Bind. It's a lot easier to pick those up and put them down, getting the high value targets off the back of them. But like you said, a mirror matchup is a mirror matchup, and that's what we're seeing right now.
So who do you got here in the pistol round, Vincent? Who do you like?
Ooh, man. You know, it's hard, especially with the mirror. I mean, this is a very balanced composition, the double duelist is, meaning that realistically, the composition doesn't really favor offense or defense much. But I would say, though, that if I had to pick, I think I'll go with UC Davis. The attacker side tends to pick up the pistols here on Haven.
Alrighty. Heard it here first, folks, right from Vincent. UC Davis, pistol round.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, it certainly could go either way, but you put my feet to the fire, and I picked one. We got to stick with it. Push looks to be over at 8 just for a moment. At least there's two players kind of eking their way over that direction, whilst everyone else spreads out and gets some map control. C16 with the opening frag. That's the player at A. And so now the rotations are coming through, both for the offense and the defense. Not know where that shock dart was headed, but it certainly didn't connect with anything. That Cypher maybe needs to do some recalculations, go back to the trigonometry class. But now this is getting serious. The spike gets planted a bit late on that dart. Doesn't really do much of any damage. It's 5v3, or rather 5v4, sorry, on the retake, as there is the classic retake sonar, but that's going to get destroyed immediately. Now has to do it all alone. Curveball goes out, and Sean, in fact, connects. Swerstickle, it's a 1-for-1, but all the trades are going both ways. That being said, it's all on to Nick, who's got that first frag, leaving it all into the 1v1. Tapping the spike is that Cypher. The paranoia goes out, but unfortunately, Nick commits far too aggressively on the swing, and, well, I take it I was wrong on this one. FGCU, they pick up the pistol.
That's a great round there from FGCU. A great retake. Great retake.
A sloppy hold, I will say, from UC Davis. They had it. I mean, they had everything there. They had everything that they should have needed, but unfortunately, they weren't able to connect.
Unable to connect, unable to hold against the retake, and that's what FGCU needed to start this one out here.
I mean, this is their map pick. So we should expect some good stuff from them. That said, we'll see how this one goes.
Interesting buys on both sides. I think I see an Ares there from Mountain.
Indeed. I do think that's interesting. Really only one player there a day. Let's try this again if you're that Cypher. Oh, there we go. That one a little bit better. Oh, there you go. I like it. Nice job. This time a little bit better. That being said, C16 utilizing the judge to great effect. And in addition to that, they run it back, utilized for information. Not really going to connect much when it comes to frags, but the paranoia is absolutely brilliant. C16 off the back of that continues to find frags, a flurry of utility coming into this one. Choke point denying any sort of area, and C16 continues to come up big. Esperanto and Various both get on the action, and that's an immediate round coming through for UC Davis. They might not have won the pistol, but they did win the follow-up.
Great round there with the judge from C16. C16 seems to like that judge. They have it in their hands a lot.
It's true. And listen, I've been telling you since the beginning there, that judge is incredible.
That is a fact. Although I am partial to the Bucky just because of the way it sounds. When you get a kill with the Bucky, you feel really good about your life. But the Judge, a great weapon.
Yeah, I don't really care about feeling good about my life as long as I'm winning the game. You know what I'm saying? Victory at all costs kind of guy. That being said, C16, the cost of a couple of blades is the life of Triple R. Not too shabby. And Smurf Stickles continues to find a frag. And it's 3v5. The retake going to be a very difficult one to find, especially when Smurf Stickles continues to get aggressive and finds yet another kill. So 2 for Smurf Stickles and 1 for C16 is where this C site sits.
Yeah, this one will be a really hard retake. I don't know. This might be a save. Ooh, not anymore. I was thinking it might be a try to save here.
Nah.
As Various gets crafty with the knife on there from Florida Gulf Coast.
So the reason you don't save there, Jim, is that you don't have anything to save, and you only get 1,000 credits when you save. So you want to die.
Fair.
Yeah. Makes sense. I get it. And, well, we'll see if...
See, I'm into the boat. I never like to die in games, so I'm always looking for a way to survive somehow.
Yeah, avoiding death is typically a positive outcome, but this is a weird game like that where that's just not the case. C16 now, maybe looking to get up close and personal. I'm ready for the dash. Where's the dash coming? No dash, but a frag. Parker, I don't know what that was, but probably not the right play. As now C16 was ready for that player, but unfortunately not able to swing at the correct timing. There's still a player advantage, despite the fact that C16 took a lot of damage from that engagement. There's nobody home at A, and that's where we're headed if you're the offense.
Good trade back and forth there.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a weird engagement in that the plant is coming over here at A, and so there's really no reason to commit to those engagements if you're the attackers. You've now just kind of given away an opportunity for a 3v3 retake, which was a 5v4. So, not the greatest of fans of what we just saw go down. That being said, this crossfire is set up, and it looks like it might not be a crossfire. It might just be the swing for C16. And with low HP, Triple R is good enough for that one. The run it back utilized by Sean as it's only on to Esperanto, who does find one frag, but you get more. Esperanto continues to pick up magical ones, and there's the third! The clutch for Esperanto.
Esperanto, great play there at the end. Keeps moving, does what needs to be done, and just unfortunate from FGCU that they were looking in the wrong direction every time they came around a corner or out of smoke.
Yeah, I mean, a tough position to be in, realistically. But hey, what can you do? Alrighty, 5 versus 5 now here at the opening of the round. Not a whole lot here for FGCU, and well, not a whole lot in general for Triple R, as Esperanto utilizing run it back to its fullest extent. Sean does have a pistol and puts it to good use. It's one frag. It's, a trade, all things considered, but Esperanto now in the back waiting for Mountain, and oh, what a nice shot from Mountain. Sean as well now recovered that rifle, able to pick up yet another frag, and Mountain comes back with a recovered rifle as well. There's one player left alive, and that Cypher takes C16 down. So what was an eco round turns up huge in the favor of FGCU.
Baby. Thrifty round, and they all picked up rifles. So not only do they get the money for the kills, the money for winning the round, they picked up the rifles so they don't have to buy. It's a huge economy round there for Florida Gulf Coast. Massive round.
That it is. You love to see it, right? I mean, this is That was really, I thought that was UC Davis's opportunity to kind of start to run away with this game. Now, granted, they still got plenty of cash, don't get me wrong, but you absolutely want to be in a position that, you know, whenever you find yourself down a little bit, you pick up a thrifty and you're straight back into it. Ooh, this is an interesting engagement over there towards long. Lots of utility being utilized at that position. There's 2 players on the defense and 5 for the offense as Parker gets out of dodge and follows it up. Sean with a double kill. Nick just gets 1 trade onto Sean, but Parker's still up close and personal and does connect the frag onto Nick. So this is ultimately a very devastating engagement for the UC Davis side, and ultimately, they're pretty much paying with this round. I mean, there's 50 seconds left. There's 2 players left alive, and C16 is already down to 45 HP.
Yeah, this, unlike the last round, this one, they have weapons. You know, they've got a pretty good economy, but they still maybe want to try to save some cash here. It looks like they're going to try to go for something, though. It looks like something might try to get forced here. Could get interesting.
30 seconds left.
Indeed. Yeah, trying to find something interesting, and, well, Parker not going to miss that shot or the follow-up.
3K there for Parker.
Yeah, very fortunate. Very good shots for Parker. Unfortunately, was looking for an operator, but couldn't find anything, mostly because it got thrown off the map, as we saw earlier, but 5 ultimates available here for the defense is certainly going to be a bit of a problem here for UC Davis.
Yeah, going to be a bit of a problem. Especially if they don't have to use them. And having them is great. If you can get the win without them, that means you could save them for another round. I think they will get used this round, though, and I think Florida Gulf Coast can get themselves a decent economy lead with a win here.
So, Coach Jim, I think you might find some coaches disagreeing with you on that one, as I've heard a lot of people suggesting, you know, use them so you can start building the next one, basically. And I don't know where I stand, but just a thought, an idea. And well, C16 had an idea, and that idea turned straight into a frag. Triple R with 1 trade, but that is ultimately not much more than that. The Hunter's Fury is going to deny the plant for just a moment, and Sean denies the spike carrier. As now the plant goes down by Smurfsicles, but it's at the cost of a life, as it's 3-on-3. This commitment is continuing as Sean moves in. The cure ball goes through. Mountain with the first frag, and oh, what a find! Esperanto thought got both of them. Actually, just got one. Smurfsicles with the other. It's now just on to Esperanto. 6 health in a dream at the moment. Oh, that hot hands is going to be frustrating, and that hot hands denies any opportunity for Esperanto to pick up the round, and that's going to be your friends over at FGCU picking up a lead once again.
Sean with the 3K right there. And the defuse. A little bit of a thrifty round there from UC Davis. They have the money now for a buy here, but if they lose this one, 3 members at 500 credits or less might not be able to full buy next round. Florida Gulf Coast could get themselves a really big lead here if they win this one too. 3 ultimates still on the board for Florida Gulf Coast.
This is an interesting half thus far. I really liked what I saw there from FGCU early, and then we saw UC Davis kind of fight it back, and it's just been very back and forth. Not anyone really able to grab the momentum and run with it. As I like that owl drone, it just denies any information from Mountain as the round goes on, and already forces a lot of utility out early. As Mountain finds that first frag onto Various, who's making this a 5-on-4, is certainly a great way to start things out. C16 has nested himself into this area, and oh, Mountain might not be expecting this. That's a bit of a frustrating timing for Mountain, because was looking at it, had Triple R coming to help out the other direction, but just got caught in the interim. As now things are equalized a little bit, and in fact, even better for the attackers as it's 4-on-3. The push looks to go towards C, but the rotations are already here. A bit of a fake there from the shadows in order to get a find, and oh, what a shot from Esperanto just swinging wide onto that
30
Cypher, and
seconds left.
Parker is thinking, I gotta save this gun.
Planted.
Yeah, no, if you're Parker right now, you find a corner, you dig in and you hide.
Get out the shovels, the spades, the pickaxe, the backhoe. I mean,
Bare hands.
You're digging straight in here.
Yeah. Find a nice soft cave and get in there.
Absolutely right. Just like that little monster with the jam, straight in there. You know. Look to see it. I mean, what do you call that? I don't know.
It's cute. That's what I'd call it. I'd call it cute.
Yeah, it is pretty
It's
cute.
adorable.
Oh.
Oh. C16 did not know how close they were to finding out Parker there.
I mean, they're basically just giving a little smooch on the mouth, and that is a nice frag at the end. C16 does fall, but I mean, ultimately, that's not a big deal. The money
not a huge deal there. It would have been huge to lose the operator. Would have been massive to lose the operator.
Would have been frustrating. It would have definitely been a big deal, much bigger deal than just C16 falling. I will definitely agree on that one. And those same 3 ultimates still available here for the defenses. They do still have weaponry. And, well, speaking of the 3 ultimates, a Blade Storm is one of those, but the defense is not the one to pop it. It's actually C16 who's done just that. Looking to get a forward position over here on A, but looks like everybody has pretty much just moved out. They don't want really any part of this as the plant goes in. Those shock darts looking to deny the area. Unfortunately, not only are they off target, but Nick has planted in a much more wide open space. It's 5-on-5 in an interesting position. We don't typically see the full 5-on-5 retake over there at A, but we are now, as I'm interested to see how this will go. Curveball out to engage is going to be Shonda first, and C16 meets them with a Blade Storm, and Nick as well comes in, and it's not traded. Nick with 3! Parker pulls out a Blade Storm of their own, but Nick has a quad.
Nice quad there from Nick. Coming up when they needed it. Looks like full buys from both teams here. Triple R gonna go with the judge. Choosing the judge. Nothing wrong with that choice. Nothing wrong at all.
I mean, other than the fact that Triple R just woke up and chose violence today. I mean,
some days you gotta choose violence, Vincent. Some days you gotta choose violence.
Fair enough. I ain't judging, but Triple R is.
Ooh, the puns. Ooh.
Had to throw it in there, man. It was served up on a silver platter. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it where it's given. But well, right now, UC Davis not given a whole lot of space for the FGCU side to really stretch their legs. They've lost 2 in a row now, and I'm starting to think that that's a bit of a trend. That being said, that trend could end right now. When that trend ends now, you could talk about, tied up 5-5 scoreline. Operator enhanced still for Parker as well. Makes me think that this is possible. Unfortunately, Triple R has no friends. No friends coming through the door.
Hey, to be honest, with that judge at close range, you don't need friends. You just need targets.
I mean, the friends are the targets in my metaphor, but it's okay. Cypher, ooh, could find something. No, actually gets away. Unfortunately, going to get found out by that dart, and at that range, the judge is not too friendly.
30 seconds.
As the curveball comes out, a nice dink around, and C16 closes that off as well. Mountain, another forward position there, sneaks his way in, and gets paranoid, unfortunately. Oh, the timing, and Mountain with the frag. There is the neural theft as well, but oh no. Oh no. What is going on? This Mountain finds a 3rd in the round. There's not enough time. What the heck just happened, Jim? I am absolutely confused.
Mountain happened. That's what happened there. Mountain coming to play. Found themselves a 3K and a round for Florida Gulf Coast.
And it was stolen straight out of the grasp of UC Davis, man. They had it. They
had
had
it with
the
both
round.
hands. They had it with
Yes.
both hands.
But their grip was not good enough. They slipped off, and oh, that's so very frustrating. If you're a fan of UC Davis, you thought you had it. It's kind of like being a Falcons fan. I understand, because I'm one of those. You think you have it, and then it's just all gone. But nonetheless, 5-5 now is the scoreline. A great equalizer, and oh, hey there! Triple R says hello, and that was interesting.
Hey, man, face to face with the judge. Got to shake hands.
Howdy do ya? As, well, C16 wants to say howdy, but unfortunately had a cloudburst in the face. That said, Parker connects with an operator and nearly a second, but C16 continues to find success as Sean looks to reconvene rendezvous with their friend in that cipher over here towards long. The sonar dart already went out, as well as that first shock dart, so not a whole lot of utility left. Does have an owl drone, and that certainly could be effective. The Hunter's Fury as well is a prime tool to contend, but that is going to be there for Various, and Various has gotten a interesting position. That wall of flame going to be denying any information for just a moment. That's going to be the Hunter's Fury off the back of the tap there by Sean, but gets it to halfway, and that certainly makes things very, very tough. Sean, ooh, that's big though from C16, and C16, what a frag. The triple in the end, but ultimately it was that one kill to deny the defuse that really mattered the most.
Let's put it this way. In the last 6 rounds, we've seen 5 3Ks and a 4K. Somebody's stepping up in every round, and the best part about it, Parker, Sean, Esperanto, Nick, Mountain, C16, the last 6 rounds, somebody different has stepped up in every round.
Every single one, and this has been an awful close game. It's 6-5, and there ain't too much between these two teams on this map of Haven. So we'll see how things go here. Up close and personal, Sean, unable to connect, has a sheriff, but Various is too good for it. So his push over here at A is very solid. And ooh, does he find one more there on the running back? No, not quite able to connect it, but 3v4 is not a great way to retake.
It is not, but they've made it happen earlier today. So not out of it yet.
We'll see how it happens this time. The swing there from Mountain is not aware of the second player, but Smirsickles only gets one. It's immediately traded, and the drop there from Avon is good for that cipher, but Esperanto says, see you later. The double swing even better for the offense.
Various keeping the carries per round going as Various picks up a 3K. 7th round in a row with either a 3K or a 4K.
I mean, everything's just coming up pretty in this game, man. Like, we're getting huge individual plays, clutch moments, absolutely exciting stuff. But we're into the second pistol, and well, I was wrong about the first, but let me pose the question to you. Who do you think picks up this pistol this time?
Florida Gulf Coast. Team with more frenzies always wins the pistol round.
Alrighty, we'll see how that one goes. But either way, I'm excited nonetheless. The pistol round here for FGCU certainly would be a welcome change, as they, well, not change, they did pick up the prior pistol, but what this would do is pretty much tie up the score line, assuming they get that second round as well. The push comes out over here towards A. Unfortunately, Parker tanks a bit of a shock dart, and well, you talked about the frenzy, and there the frenzy goes. Sean with the frag. A bit of a investment there in the sheriff on round number 1. I don't know about that one, but if you connect the shots, it certainly can be deadly. There it is, through the wall. The armor penetration looking good. And C16 with a huge couple of frags around the back, but Sean has a 3K as well. Nick gets in on the action, and now there's 2 players left alive against that Cypher. Looking for the 1v1s, but unfortunately unable to connect, and Esperanto finds that kill. As well, listen, I was wrong, you were wrong, we were all wrong about the pistols, but that's another round that's on the board for UC Davis.
Keeps it going with the 3Ks, though. It's 2 different players, 3K in that round.
You love to see it. You love to see it. C16, those were some pretty shots to come in there as well.
They were.
I have to admit. Really appreciated that. But look at this buy, Jim. Interesting decisions, right?
Marshall on the side of UC Davis, Judge on the side of Florida Gulf Coast. Nothing wrong with those choices there. Everybody else, though, Spectres.
True. Pretty much Spectres across the board, like you said. Running back going to be utilized here by the offenses. Sean gets a forward position. Unfortunately, that's not particularly netting many frags, as the hold here is simply impeccable. Sean, the only frag of the round there for the offense. And, well, that's a way to shut down a force buy, ain't it?
It is. And here we go. UC Davis right there just showing why they are 9-0 in the regular season, why they're sitting here in the semifinals as the favorite in that round. Death came with UC Davis in that one.
Well, you know what they say. Death, only thing that's guaranteed, certainly was guaranteed for FGCU. That one, yes. Yeah, I was about to say, I know there's more to that, but, you know, we're just going to leave the other part off just for the funsies. That being said, C16 has popped the Blade Storm, looking for something. It's kind of impressive with that Blade Storm, so watch out where he goes with that one. An interesting setup right now, though, just with these pistols. I mean, these pistols have been decent, I want to say, for Florida, but they're going to have to really put them to work. And Triple R has done just that. That's an opening frag, and that's a bit of damage there to the Smurf Sickles, but Parker does fall eventually as well. Sean now continues to find work with the Sheriff, as that's 2 Sheriff frags now. Unable to really get a rifle off of that, but the Blade Storm is sneaking in, and that's just lining them up. Very well done by C16. Mountain, though, on the other side, though, gets a frag. This is a bit of a problem. Smurf Sickles needs to come up huge, and does. Find that first frag, and now knows where the second is, and able to connect. It got a little dicey there, Jim, but fortunately, we did see UC Davis solidify their position and come out victorious.
You know, after the first half of the round, I thought my 14-12 prediction was going to be pretty good, but UC Davis coming out here, winning the first 3 in the second half.
Yeah, and some of the quickest 3 rounds I've seen in Valorant in a while certainly look dominant. That being said, this is where things start to get interesting. You've got the full weaponry available for both sides, and to be honest, a pretty much full investment for both sides, considering the amount of deaths in the last round. There's just 1 SMG on the board, and aggression is the name of the game here for the defense. The curveball comes in, and it's good for another one. That's absolutely brilliant for Esperanto and C16 with 2 apiece, as they've just demolished the entirety of FGCU. Smurf Sickles with 1 more, but that's now 11-5 and a flawless victory.
And that might be the end there. That might be the beginning of the end for Florida Gulf Coast. They're not going to have enough to reinvest a full buy here. It's going to be a rough round. If they can win this one, they might be able to turn something around. But without this one, it's going to be rough. And I think some money being passed around. There. They ended up with a pretty decent buy for a team that was low on credits.
You better be careful. Don't want to be in violation of any of those NCAA rules. That would be scary. C16 and Esperanto, though, they're certainly not violating anything but the Geneva Conventions, as they get frags both left, right, and center. It's once again just Esperanto and C16. This time a full house between the two.
Just crazy. The one shot that we had on the screen here, our producer had it on the screen from C16. I didn't even see when they pulled the trigger. That's how quick that snapshot was.
Yeah, blink and you miss it. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And, well, 12-5. You know, that first half, it was 7-5. Just a little bit ago. Just teensy. 5 rounds. 5 rounds. That's it. Absolutely incredible.
Guardian for Parker.
Oh, yes. No, Various, how dare you? No!
Spike down.
I
B.
cannot believe it. The disrespect from UC Davis. This is absolutely ridiculous. They won the knife round, but they wouldn't give it to him. This is all on to Parker, who has found some players. But yeah, this is just a matter of time. And there it goes. Unfortunately, there, UC Davis, a little bit disrespectful at the end. But hey, who cares? A victory is a victory, and 13-5. Man, who would have guessed? Just that dominant second half, man, from C16 and Esperanto, almost on their own. I just absolutely brilliant stuff. I'm really impressed with what we saw from them. They absolutely popped off there in the second half, and I mean, I love to see it.
You know, we talked in the last one about, you know, two people at the top, which one was better. One of them had the better combat score. One of them had the better econ rating. C16 putting that to rest in map number 2, saying, you know what, I'm just going to have the best everything. So you can go ahead and talk about me.
Yeah. I mean, quite literally the best everything. Oh man, C16 and Esperanto, cannot say enough about those two players rather, on the UC Davis side of things. And I mean, I'm just really excited to see what they bring as they move straight on to that grand finals, Jim. I think that it's well deserved. Like we said, reason they're 9-0, reason they came out, they absolutely slapped in the first half of this series, and then they came out. It was really close there on the first half of Haven, but once they got down to the defense, they absolutely popped off. You absolutely love to see that. Any final thoughts here before we get our next matchup prepared?
Just, you know, 8 first bloods for C16. 8 at the point of the spear with C16. I'm asking our producer if we're going to get an interview. No, we're not going to get an interview. And I'm asking him if we need to buy some time here, and he's going to tell me no as well. So, Vincent, that's all I had there was C16, 8 first bloods right there. Point of the spear. Point of the spear, and I hope to see more of that in the finals.
Tip the spear. Somebody's got to do it, and C16 did it very well. Almost had a nice little reference there to an 80s song, but didn't quite make it there. Oh, well. You tried your best. Now, nonetheless, they tried their best here. Florida Gulf Coast, you know, we appreciate them coming out. They did put up a valiant effort there, especially in bind and in the first half of this second game. Very impressive. But unfortunately, that is going to be it from myself and Jim. Though, don't go anywhere. We do have yet another series that could be even more exciting to come at you here in just a few moments. But we're going to go get that set up, and whilst we do, you can go do what you need to do. We'll be right back here in just a couple of minutes for more Valorant action.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
All right. So we're back here. We need to stall a little bit because our producer can't look at a clock. So Vince and me and you are going to be here while they get the next lobby set up. And we're just having fun. Our producer, Caleb Gloubet, the French Canadian from up north. We like to give him a hard time. I don't think he speaks French, though, Vincent. I really don't think he does.
Oh.
As he speaks French in my ear.
I mean, he said one phrase. Let's back it up. All right. You know, I can speak a couple of phrases in different languages. I mean, I got like one phrase of Russian, you know, like 3 Japanese and maybe 7 or 8 Spanish phrases. Doesn't make me, you know, fluent. Okay, Jim, come on.
This is true. Going back though, we talked about 8 rounds in a row. Somebody from either side popped off with a 3K. Parker, Sean, Esperanto, Nick, Mountain, C16, Various, and then the final one in the streak was C16 and Sean, both teams throwing a 3K out there. What does that say to you, though? And one of those was a 4K. Nick's was a 4K. What does that say to you, though? That many rounds in a row, somebody popping off on both sides.
I mean, to me, that just kind of says... I mean, is maybe as rude as it is to say, a bit of a skill difference. Just when it comes to, I mean, if you're straight W keying like we were seeing, in fairness, I really think that it came down to a bit of a difference there. That being said, it also comes down to confidence. That's really what this game is about. You know, you look at it and it's like whoever is feeling the most confident is typically going to be the ones who are connecting the shots because they're putting themselves in positions that are just unexpected. And that is another reason why, I mean, listen, you're rarely expecting, I mean, to be fair, I see it all the time, so I am expecting it. And in fact, I'll tell you that you need to do it if you don't do it, but you're not expecting necessarily, 3 players just W keying down long and getting 3 kills. Like that's a hard thing to anticipate. And so same thing could be said with, a dash up mid from C16. Like it just doesn't happen like that very often. And when they're able to connect those shots, there's a age old saying, I think it comes from Overwatch maybe, but basically you can afford to be as aggressive as you want as long as you have the mechanics to bail you out. So your aggression is basically a linear slope that is basically fully tied to how good your aim is.
Now, talking about somebody cleaning up for a team, with Sage being an agent in Valorant, there is actually a chance for a player to get the mythical 6K. I have seen one. It happened earlier in the spring. Yes. Vincent, have you ever seen the mythical 6K?
I was there with you.
Were you? I couldn't remember if it was me and you. It was me and you. That was something to watch. That one was a fun round. Talk about confidence. Just saying, nope, I got all these. Gonna clean it all up. Talk about something age old, though. I don't know if you could say Overwatch is age old.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Overwatch is a fairly recent development. Yeah, fairly recent development. Although in the esports community, it's a bit older. Not quite as old as me, as I'm one of the old men here at the
ancient
men. Ancient at 34 years of age. Ancient here with the NECC. And I'm going to say
what is that in esports? It's in esports years.
I'm an octogenarian in esports years. I think I'm about 83. I think I'm 83 in esports years.
That's probably.
I'm going to say though that the quote you had though is way deeper and way farther back than Overwatch. I believe it actually might predate video games entirely.
I mean, I don't know about video games. I feel like,
I think that one might predate video games entirely.
Are you going back to like Sun Tzu, The Art of War here? Like, what are we talking?
I mean, not only could I go back to Sun Tzu and The Art of War, but I believe that's been in the Special Operations Handbook for the United States military for quite a while as well.
Is it? Is it actually? I have no idea.
I think it might be. Somebody might want to check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure it might be.
I hope somebody could find that because that is hilarious if that's true. I had no idea. That's pretty awesome.
Your aggression can be measured in confidence.
Well, I mean, yes, I can see that bit.
That bit.
There was a bit more to it. It was a bit more to it, but I get your point.
It boils down to that part, though. It boils down to that part.
Yeah, well, there's also the mechanical ability part that you have to be able to hit the shot.
I mean, if you're talking about people in that line of work, they all have the mechanics.
That's true. That's very fair. Very fair.
And if we go back to Sun Tzu, he had the mechanics as well. So
that's also true. Though that does create a bit of a question. Are you capped at your skill level? Are you at a skill level and you're just there forever, or can you get infinitely better at video games?
As I like to tell people, luck is greater than skill.
I don't think that's how it works, but you know what?
I could be
You're a coach and I'm not. So.
I could be the worst player in a game ever. If I hit the miraculous shot, that's all that matters. I don't have to.
Well, what if you lose the game? What if you lose the game though?
Well, then you're not lucky. I'm saying the shot that wins it. If you hit the shot that wins it, that's all that matters.
Oh, okay. So the winning shot is all that matters.
The winning shot's all that matters. Whether it's skill or luck doesn't matter. You hit the shot.
I got you. I see.
If you hit the 5-man op, the miracle 5-man op, that's all that matters.
The 5-man collateral. I've never seen one of those actually.
I have not, other than somebody lining one up just for views.
I mean that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Fun.
I have never seen the most I've ever seen is 3. I've seen a 3. It was not in a cast game. It was in a practice, and unfortunately, it was my team that died.
Oh, no.
But I have seen a 3 though, and I just sat there and just like slow clapping. Like, what do you say, guys? Just stop what you're doing and slow clap in chat, because they hit a triple, and that's never gonna see one better than that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do love to see that. I did see a quad in CS:GO, but never in Valorant. I've never seen anything more than 2. I think live for me. I haven't even seen a 3 myself. So, I hope to one day. I mean, granted, there was a lot more CS:GO than there has been Valorant thus far.
But remember, we have seen the mythical 6Ks. We've got that for the rest of our lives.
True. Though I've seen a couple of those, so I'm okay with that one. I've seen that happen a couple of times, especially early on in the game where nobody knew how to play. Like they're a lot more rare now. You're right, yeah. But like remember back in, or maybe you don't remember. I don't know if you played, but back in beta, like that was a weekly occurrence because nobody knew how to play the game and they were just bad. So you would just see a freaking it would be a Raze swinging around the corner with a showstopper, and then your whole team was dead immediately.
You see, I'm thinking more of the competitive level, but yeah, no. Back in the beta, there was a lot of stuff going on back in the
beta. Yeah, it definitely was interesting. I was happy about it. That being said, by the way, I do want to let everybody know, whilst we are waiting, what matchup we are waiting on is Boise State and CSUDH. So that's California State University Dominguez Hills. And there's a reason that we just, shorten it up because, come on, guys, that's an outrageously long name. You think I'm saying that every time? Absolutely not.
I mean, God, there's some that it rolls off the tongue so well, though, Vincent. California State University Dominguez Hills, it just rolls right off.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, at all. At least, listen, I'll put it this way. At least, like, for UC Davis, like, that rolls off the tongue. Like, that does. But even if CSU Dominguez Hills, we love you, but your name's outrageous. It's got to get redacted here.
I'm gonna have my producer remind me if it's UC Davis and Cal State University Dominguez Hills. Would that be a rerun of the Falls Finals? No.
Oh,
it was Sac State. It was Sac State. My apology. It was Sac State. My bad there.
Though, to be fair, CSU, they do have one of my favorite players. They had an incredible highlight. I have to find it and link it in chat later. It was like a huge 5K from One Mad Bad Dog. It's just great.
There's the name. There's the name that rolls off the tongue.
And here's the thing. I committed to casting it as One Mad Bad Dog the entire time, and it was in the clip, and I was absolutely so happy about it. It was brilliant. I was so happy. But nonetheless, my happiness unfortunately has to come to an end. The reason for that is because I will no longer see your smiling face, Jim, in just a few moments because we're going to be leaving. But that means that we have 2 awesome casters coming back in for more, as I think it's going to be Fellow and Infernosis. I'm not 100% sure. I do have confirmation. So we are going to prep that Boise State and CSU Dominguez Hills game, but that means we will bid our farewell. We'll see you here back in just a few moments with some more Valorant.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Valorant Semifinals here at the NECC. My name is Infernosis, joined here by fellow the caster, my, heart-by-heart duo in basically any game I cast for, except for Overwatch. I'm really looking forward to this one because we just casted this team last week, or last time we casted Valorant. We got to see CSUDH win in a match that a lot of people didn't expect them to win in.
Yeah, they've been an underdog for quite a while, 3-6 at the current moment for their normal season, and now they're going up against another Goliath. It's Boise State, and as a matter of fact, both of these teams have gone up against one another twice now, both of them taking a 2-0 victory for each other. So it's a complete coin flip, 50-50, even though overall Boise State has had a better season. So we could still see that redemption run go right along for CSUDH. And the maps, they're looking pretty even so far. We have a great selection for tonight for this best of 3. It's going to be Bind, Ascent, and Haven, followed up in that order, with Boise State attacking on the first map, but the last 2, they will be on the defensive side in that first half.
Absolutely. I'm really, really looking forward to this matchup here. Obviously, we've got a great set of teams. I think a lot of people have been, I guess, upsetting themselves in a lot of different ways when it comes to the brackets, the pick'ems. It is, it's a little bit interesting. It's difficult to say which team's going to win this one, because obviously we're seeing a team that wasn't anticipated to win last week, and now they are. They're coming in strong. They've got themselves coming off of a victory. They've played exceptionally well for themselves. I mean, they had to play a pretty tough team to get here. They had to face FAU, if I remember correctly, and they did it very well. And they beat the team in a matchup that wasn't anticipated, that 2-0 route. Very nice for themselves. But this one, much more difficult. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the last game was that UC Davis versus FGCU game, and UC Davis taking it. I mean, they're going to be facing off, if they manage to win this, another Goliath. So they're going to be facing Goliath on Goliath onto Goliath. Honestly, CSUDH has the hardest bracket coming into this one, facing number 2 Florida Atlantic, number 3 Boise State 1, and if they beat this game, they're facing number 1 UC Davis.
Yeah, they are really going through the fire and flames, if you want to call it that. But enough of the mild banter and fill. We're going to get into the agent selection part of this matchup, and so far looking pretty standard. Rays and Phoenix already being selected on the defensive side for CSUDH. Pretty standard stuff on both sides, so I guess it'll be a normal matchup on Bind, to say the least. This doesn't look that far off from the last game that was actually commentated a little while ago.
Yeah, and one of the great things about Bind is the ability to, get around the map really quickly, but another great way to do that is to, from the shadows, as an Omen, you can take that one up. And we know Bad Dog loves the Omen. Same thing that we know Riley really loves Sova. Same way we know BT really loves Sniper. I mean, these are just go-to picks. When you've got Sean, who's able to go so hot on Rays, and of course Baby, who can just pop off on any other type of duelist. I mean, they're exceptional in their front line, but they've got such good support, such good control, such good sentinels to be able to just sit themselves in a spot. The defense for the CSUDH side is going to be hot, but we've seen BT fall off when it comes to the attack. They typically will split themselves in a way that they'll go over to A site or B site, and then they'll put BT single-handedly to try and take showers or maybe gather information. They have interesting strategies, but a lot of it kind of comes down to, do they lose BT early as that Cypher player, or do they build around it? I'd like to see them build more around BT, because when BT has a team around them, they play spectacular.
Yeah, always nice to be able to gather a lot of intel. That's why I'm a huge fan of the Cypher and Sova combination. You can never have enough information for your matchup, and they're both great at doing their job, to say the least. And also a big fan of the Hunter's Fury ultimate as well. Really great for those post-plant situations to either reclaim that bomb objective room or to keep it away from your opponents. But for the most part, things starting out pretty normal. It's about a half and half sided push right now, most likely just to try to confuse the opposition of CSUDH. And right now, haven't really seen that much confrontation, just a lot of playing back, waiting for someone to make a mistake first.
I mean, at this point in time, you've kind of got to get information for both sides, and obviously this defensive side is doing that a little bit better. I think they're able to, tag one player out, get them with recon, dart, and know that there is at least a player sitting by that fountain side, but they're continuing to do so now as they are looking to maybe put a split over towards A, and one player in Heaven might be able to make that difficult. Sean in a firefight now with Bandit. No one really getting the better of that fight, but time will not be on this attacking team side if they don't fully commit to a site right now.
Yeah, they're really wasting a lot of time just kind of sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing. Now, that can work out for them if CSUDH doesn't anticipate it, but they haven't moved at all. They're just kind of waiting for everything to happen all of a sudden. And that's exactly what's going on. Abilities coming out left and right, trying to just disorientate the defensive side of CSUDH, but really it's not working. They find the entry. Bad Dog, what a great kill with that frenzy. Rally following suit with that ghost. Crisp headshot and kills coming out left and right. And at the moment, CSUDH is in that strong 2-1 lead. It's all up to Dream now. In that 1v2, he picks up another for himself onto Baby, and now he just has to find BT in this 1v1. Intel trying to be gathered with that camera, but it is not successful. And now the spike is down. Dream in a huge advantage up against Cypher, and he just has to play the clock now. Wide swing comes around, but BT hits his shots with that ghost pistol, and more than enough time to defuse. CSUDH keeping a level head will guarantee them that first pistol round.
What a great round as well. They had the 2v1, and then it was quickly felled into that 1v1. And who else but the player I was talking about at the very beginning, BT? Who else is going to show up except for him? And that's exactly what we saw. Getting themselves and cleaning up the round in a spectacular fashion against a player like Dreammaker, who was already at 2 kills, kind of, snowballing into that round. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they can kind of try to continue this success going forward, but a little bit of a difficulty. We're seeing full SMG buy. They're going in full Sind here. And while this is not a bad decision, when everyone brings a Spectre, your economy will be worse for wear because they bought full armor behind it. They're looking to finish this round. If they take 1 or maybe 2 deaths, then I would classify this as a successful round for Boise State.
Ooh, and a great entry as well by Bad Dog, utilizing the better weapons here. Riley finishing off on with the shock arrow, almost finds a little bit more damage onto Legit Soldier, but he's going to manage to escape that little effect with the arrow. And this 5-on-3, again, heavily favoring CSUDH. They really haven't looked that bad so far, and these Spectres are a formidable opponent up against the opposition. Bad Dog with another, and Shan shuts down Lycan. It's all up to Legit Soldier, who gets 1 onto Riley, but has to get this ace here if he wants to win out the second round for his team. And to be honest, Scott, I don't think that's going to be the case, even if he finds this one onto his doppelganger of the other Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not in a good position. Bad Dog going in with a Shadow Step, not able to get far enough. They'll be felled, but BT not far behind. But I did state, if Boise was able to get 2 kills in this round, it would be classified as a success. And now you're going to have to see whether or not it will be a big enough one, because a full buy will now be able to be had by this Boise State squad. They can full send it with their Vandal or Phantom counterpart, whichever one they prefer personally. But 2 of those players are kind of forced to only get light armor. They're not able to fully send in with that full stage. And, I think that's because they need a little bit more ability usage. They feel a little bit caught out in the open. They don't have enough utility behind them to let themselves go forward. And I think any player knows when you can't put down a smoke, when you can't gather information, you're kind of like a fish out of water. You feel very uncomfortable, I guess would be the phrase to say. You don't want to be put in that situation, and Boise State will prefer that over having that full armor.
Yeah, and back on Boise State, they pretty much have to win this round. They fully committed, opting for the Vandals and Phantoms. Run it back comes into effect. It needs to pick up at least 1 frag, but it's not going to work out for him. A complete waste of that ultimate, and he can't really even gather that much intel, but the Spy Dart will do just that on the Bandit, and they're well aware that this plant is in fact going down. It'll be confirmed by the Omen player of Your Hat, and the site is now completely in the favor of Boise State. They just have to play keep away for a little while longer to end up winning out their first round, but it's still that 5-on-5. Anything can happen here in these next couple of gunfights. Wide swing comes out by CSUDH. It's just an ocean of blue right now. Legit Soldier does get 1, but it won't be enough. Diffuse now being attempted by Raleigh. He gets the first half, but can he get the second? Coverage from behind will not happen. A great kill comes out by Your Hat for a 3K, and it in fact will work out for them in the end. Magnificent plays by Your Hat, able to completely deny that retake by CSUDH, and they will mark it off it with their first win.
Man, Bad Dog went full Sind right there, just absolutely shrouded step in behind inside of Octagon, and they were behind their opposing player, their doppelganger, Your Hat, but Your Hat finds the kill stepping out of that smoke, then goes into sight, finding 2 more. I mean, what can you ask right in that moment? Your Hat's playing spectacularly out of their minds. They connected to every shot they had, and they found themselves success. It's none too shocking facing off against SMGs. CSUDH brought everything they could to the table, and it looked like they would have it. But Boise State were not going down without a fight. So information attempting to be gathered now in this A short. It looks like they're putting a couple players towards showers as well as maybe tempting it, but the Hunter comes out, and Riley able to find Lycan in a difficult situation now for Boise State as they have a 1-man disadvantage. They don't have the information wielding Lycan anymore in that Cypher. They're going to have to play with a 1-man down disadvantage and a complete lack of intel.
Yeah, the Owl Drone and Recon Bolt they just work perfectly with his ultimate ability of Hunter's Fury, and that's what was able to guarantee them that first entry onto the other Cypher player. And now it's that 5-on-4. Things are looking great for CSUDH. Again, it just seems like there's a lot of cold feet on the side of Boise State. They really aren't able to do that much, and their only chance of info will be denied with that Recon Bolt. So it's just not a great position for them, to be completely honest with you, Scott.
Absolutely, and they're still trying to put it looks like they're trying to put a commitment towards A, but I think they're going to be forced to take a step back. A Hunter's Fury will come out now from Dream. They're looking to maybe connect. I think they do get a little bit of damage off onto Baby and a tag onto Riley, but now Legit stepping forward and gets legitimately shut down. Bad Dog finding 2 in the process. And Bandit will be felled by Sean as well. Just Dream sitting inside Showers, tries to pull out a dart, recons his own position, and Sean will clean up with the pistol in hand, pulls out the gap and does just that. A flawless round for CSUDH. They're going to take it now 3-1. And Boise State are going to have a couple questions that need to be answered about what went wrong in that round.
I mean, a lot. They lost their first player of Cypher that was Lycan, if anyone needs a quick little reminder, due to the Hunter's Fury. I mean, that's always a big deficit, and then you basically have to just play recovery that entire time around. It just hasn't been that good for them so far, and now they're not in the best position, basically full buying Sheriffs and 1 Frenzy, so they're trying to save a lot of their money so they can full buy for next round. So this is going to give another great advantage for CSUDH as long as they just play a little more conservatively, and for the most part, they've been doing just that time and time again.
And this full commitment seemingly coming towards B. You're going to see a smoke get dropped inside of Hookah window. And you're going to see them also cut off elbow, and they're going to swing on the site quite quickly. Frenzy's in hand. They're going in. They're trying to bring out the high noon in all of us, but I don't necessarily know it's going to be enough. This is Sheriff Gaming at its finest. Only Legit has the Frenzy in pocket, but CSUDH is looking to step forward. Smash is going out, but it's not going to matter. Lycan finds Sean. Bandit finds Riley, but Legit takes BT. Bad Dog with the only kill for their side, and they're going to be one of the only lives left. And it's not going to matter in the end. Lycan cleaning it off spectacularly to finish it off. Boise State with Sheriffs. It's high noon somewhere in the world, and apparently it's high noon in Boise State.
And now, on top of gaining their second round win, they've got plenty of money to play around with, full armor and Vandals and Phantoms coming along their side, and a fair amount of ultimates as well. They have Cyphers, they have Phoenixes, and also Omens, so plenty of frag potential in their hands. They are looking much better all of a sudden. They've come alive, to say the least, so hopefully they can continue that same success moving on forward. And what it appears to be, they're known for mostly an A-sided push. Maybe they'll get a lot more aggressive. They'll spot out that recon dart, but the paint shell is going to slow them down for just a little while longer, but it's not that big of a deal. They didn't take that much damage from it. Now they're able to re-engage their opponents of CSUDH. Swing comes out by Jet, but not all that successful, as there is a smoke guarding them from doing that. But now the run it back can now come into effect. But again, the same question states itself. Will he get at least 1 kill? That will be the case. Legit Soldier gets 1 onto Bad Dog, and now this is a much better position for Boise State.
Yeah, they've already managed to find a refrag, though. Sean taking Dream out for the count. And Bandit's looking for maybe a smoke criminal play. You're going to get a run it back now from Baby, looking to contest in the process, but your hat finds Riley. Sean finds your hat on a refrag, and Baby connects into Bandit. The run it back did find a level of success throughout, but now Legit Soldier looking very worse for wear as their health with that 19, and BT will make it 0. Lycan steps forward with an amazing swing to connect to Baby, but BT on the refrag, and Sean will complete this defuse, a CSUDH round win. But I wish there was a replay system we had. I wish I could see that shot 3 more times back to back. What a phenomenal flick.
Yeah, amazing marksmanship. And CSU, DH, although I didn't have high hopes for them, they brought it back. Great recovery round once more. Now they have a double round advantage. So, I mean, Boise State, they've been looking a little worse for wear right now on their attackive side. We've seen a lot of them just been very slow paced. That one obviously being an outlier. They were actually a lot more aggressive considering all things, but it still didn't work out for them. And now CSU DH is sitting quite pretty, and oh boy, Riley with the Odin. I'm getting flashbacks from the quarterfinals all over again. That gun guaranteed him so many frags last time we commentated over him. It was honestly amazing. I hope to see that again right now.
Yeah, that's just a disgusting weapons in the right hand, and
Oh my
Riley's
God, yeah.
hands are absolutely the best. But a judge in hands for Baby right now, sitting below window, maybe looking to catch a player as they step out of hookah. But it seems to be a mostly Gordon-sided push. You do have your one player of Dream situated by Showers. You've got Bandit kind of holding close, maybe looking for a chance to contest, but they're kind of trapped a little bit inside Link. But they do have the spike, so it looks to be 3 players pushing towards Garden, towards this Octagon side, looking for a fight, but they're going to want to teleport over to that A site. And now you're going to have to see this defense, the CSUDH, either rotate really quickly or have in prey that these 2 defensive players can hold on. Sean finding Bandit, but refragged by Dream. Not in a good situation now, just Mad Dog, the only one close by, and they'll be felled just as quick. Dream finding the kill, and now an opportunity for Boise State to plant and take this objective.
A bomb site now completely in their hands. Spike coming down, much better position. Shock dart comes out on both Heaven and the back spawn for the defenders, but it's not going to really find anything. That Odin spray going to be denied by Lycan with the Phantom at hand. Now in this 4-on-2, 4-on-1, as Dream gets the 3K for the round. It's just up to Phoenix now. Baby picks up 2 massive frags, but he's going to find 2 more, and time is not on his side. Making a 3K. He goes around with the curveball, does not connect, and now has to still claim 1 onto Legit Soldier, and he is just playing this so perfectly, waiting for time to dwindle down, and he peeks around the corner at just the perfect moment. Boise State take their 3rd round, completely cool, calm, and collective mindset by Legit Soldier in that 1v1.
Man, what a spectacular way to put some stress on the shoulders of Boise State, though. I mean, connecting with so many back-to-back in a way that was definitely not anticipated, catching Dream off guard, sitting in the middle of sight, just below Heaven. You've got to catch a player stepping into Showers like and just felled because of that. I mean, there's so much happening in that scene, in that fight, that it was honestly hard to keep up with in a couple scenarios. Just so much small mind games going through, but Legit Soldier, just calm, cool, and collected like you stated, does not need to fight their own battles. They'll fight their battle, but they'll do it by staying calm and playing strategically. But Bad Dog sitting inside of a smoke right now, looking to maybe contest a player. They're gonna drop they're gonna drop the recon bolt out, and it's gonna tag, and they're gonna be forced to take a step back. But I mean, this round is not an anticipated victory from CSUDH. I don't know if you've pressed tab just yet, but there's basically no guns in their arsenal.
Oh my god, Legit Soldier just running right into the flurry of players. He picks up 1 to run it back and now can reattempt the exact same thing. His ultimate giving him an extra life, essentially. Now this 4-on-3, and Boise State are on the hunt against their opposition. And right now, they could try to go for this plant. They do have coverage with that Shroud ability. Your Hat picks up 1 on a Shan, and Dream follows suit. Another 1v1 presents itself now, and it's not going to work out. Not 1v1, but 1v4. And 2 nice kills come out by Baby, but it's not going to guarantee them the win, and now things are evened up on both sides. Almost a great... Oh, no, it will be a great cover for Boise State. My mistake.
That is the very definition of stalking your play. Baby right there had their cursor just sitting forever. Had no care in the world. Just waited for the right opportunity. They turned and saw him, but Baby was like, nah, click. You gone. You out of here. Then peeks forward, finds Bandit in the attempted spike plant. Unfortunately, the 2 did not line up an ability to take the shot. Unfortunate positions against Baby, but nonetheless, 9 kills and top fragging in this match right now sets them up for a high level of success that's expected of this team. They fought their way to this point, making it through into the playoffs, and a lot of people didn't anticipate after the rocky start to the season. They made it through, and now they're in the semifinals, and they're trying to fight off one of the best teams here. This is a massive difficulty for them, but they're definitely showing they've got what it takes.
Yeah, they're going to try their best, that's for sure. And I'm surprised that Boise State isn't continuing there early on.
I think maybe his computer crashed. Is that what just happened? Bella? Unfortunate. It only happens when we're playing Valorant, apparently, but still situated. Seems to be a B-sided push, mostly oriented towards that window of hookah, but those 2 players now stepping back, and they're going to teleport all the way over to the A site, the 2 players that were coming long, and now you're going to have to see whether or not these 2 defensive players for CSUDH can hold their own once again. BT looking for an opportunity, but Bad Dog's trying to do the same thing as they're being rushed up short. Bad Dog finds Legit Soldier, and they're going to find BT with the Hunter of Fury. Dream finding a kill, and Your Hat and Lycan connect with headshots of their own. It's just Baby and Riley left standing. They're looking for maybe a continuation of success. AV has monstrous fragging potential at this point in time, but they need to be able to stay alive to be able to continue to find that. Stepping now inside of U-Haul, Riley finds a kill into Dream, stepping around the corner, is going to get fragged back in return by Your Hat, but Baby is still alive and kicking, knows where Lycan is currently standing, but gets paranoid out. Has the flash ready to toss it to the right. Lycan may get blinded by this if the opportunity does arise. Your Hat sitting low on HP as well. Using the Phantom Step to maybe take a step away, baited out, and Your Hat will complete the 3K trifecta. Boise State taking yet another round. They'll actually take the lead finally in this round. Still think Fellow's gone. This is an unfortunate happenstance here, producer. This is what we would call being down bad. The very definition of being down bad. Unfortunate all around. We'll have to wait for him to come back, of course, but, you know, it's all in due time, all in due respects. But let's talk about Your Hat in that round. Finding 3 kills, connecting where needed, baiting out to the player to take an aggressive step forward and get caught off guard. When you can shrouded step your way forward and be able to trick your opponent into thinking there's maybe a difficult situation to be had, maybe they've stepped away, maybe you've caught them off guard after that teleport, then you've got yourself already with an advantageous position in that fight. But I want to take a look. They're bringing out Sheriffs once again and just shotguns. They're trying to continue to maybe connect with these. I mean, the Judge is a pretty devastating weapon, but you've got to be pretty close for it. But I'll tell you what's not close. Riley against Bandit. A headshot connects with a Phantom, guaranteeing the kill by Garden. And now it looks like Boise State's continuing to try to take a step forward. Dream finds Baby, now trying to clear out Hookah once again with a shock dart. They're stepping onto the site, taking an advantageous positions forward, but Sean is there, finding one, but can't find a second. Your Hat will capitalize, and we're back to a 2v4 CSUDH with just Bad Dog and BT left standing. Is Fellow back?
I am.
I'm assuming you're still having to get the game up.
I am opening it as we are speaking, so at least it only happened for like 2 seconds. That was weird. Yeah.
But a difficult position to be in, this 4v2, and BT and Bad Dog, they may be full HP, but with only a Sheriff in hand. And I'm looking at the clock right now. It's near midnight, but that's not high noon, and it's going to be difficult for them. They'll line up, however, for Dream. They'll capitalize, clean up, and find both in the same spray, and Boise State will take yet another round back-to-back.
Well, Boise State, they have been overperforming, I suppose. I mean, I anticipated this a little bit. They were one of the best-seeded teams in their division, 7-2, only losing 2 times, but one of those times was against their opponents right now, CSUDH. So, I mean, it's a little bit of, you know, petty rivalry, I suppose, and I guess they're just coming out on top in this position. But, yeah, that's all I can really say, to be honest.
I mean, what is there to say when they're just showing a dominant performance? You saw a great start coming through from CSUDH, and then Boise just kind of collapsed back, and I guess that's kind of expected. 4 rounds now, uncontested. Hasn't exactly been, I guess, the closest. We have come down to that 2v1, but in all honesty, I think it was always an advantage for Boise State, and it's going to continue to be in that way. Bandit finds Bad Dog. They run it back. Will connect to yet another kill now. Is legit able to take BT out for the count. And a 3v5 underway, but a Hunter's Fury from Riley comes through. It's not tagging anyone. Poorly positioned, but Baby will tag someone, finding Bandit. We're back, but there's still a player disadvantage for the CSUDH side.
Paranoia comes out. It is going to slow down the push count for CSUDH. They have to completely retake the site, but legit Soldier from behind shuts down 2, and Dream picks up another. Oh my goodness gracious. Boise State, 3 rounds up ahead and only 1 more away before we head to the second half. My goodness, Scott, they have just been doing so well all of a sudden. I am completely impressed by them. I mean, just a couple moments ago, they were down bad up against CSUDH, and now they're reigning the helms right now. They're up 3 rounds against their opposition.
Yeah, John, they're too legit to quit. Absolutely unstoppable. Legit
for real?
On that flank. Yeah, for real, man. I mean, when you saw Legit come on that flank, able to find 2 and just spray them down, it was the same thing we saw last round, except it wasn't Dream that time. And the enemy team actually had guns. So, in a situation now, the last round before this halftime switch in CSUDH didn't have the economy to full buy. They're kind of stuck. They've got 2 players with rifles, but with soft armor. And then they've got SMGs and shotguns about with full armor. So, no glass cannon scenario. I mean, kind of glass cannons with the rifles, but they're not going to opt to just let their full body armor individuals play with the rifles. Instead, they're playing their own game. And while they will be spy darted out, you do have Bandit with the Blade Storm ready to go. So, I mean, Boise State looking poised to take yet another round.
Yep, the knives are out, and he's actually going to back off. Not going to finish off using his ultimate just yet. He'll reposition, regrouping himself now with the rest of his team as Boise State looks to be approaching towards the B bomb site, in towards Garden and also Hookah. Curveball coming out, trying to disorientate his opposition of Bayv, now stuck in that back corner, and I'm not too sure Legit Soldier is aware. He turns around and Bayv just walks right on in. One great frag, but Your Hat will get a trade. Shan with the Judge shuts down Bandit. Knives will no longer be out, but Dream is there to recover. Now they can go for the plant. Boise State in a great position, and now CSUDH have to reclaim this bomb site. It's completely even on the man count, but they no longer have any intel on the Omen player of Your Hat. He's completely relocated, but that dart will surely do the trick, and now the jig is in fact up. But Hunter's Fury, this could be great to deny the plant, or at least stall for a lot of time. It's not going to find anything, but Lycan will, with that Phantom in hand, shuts down BT. Riley with a trade, now back in that 2-on-2 as Riley goes for the defuse, and no one's here to cover. Your Hat makes it a 1v1. This could in fact still be winnable for Boise State as no one's here to defuse, but Riley wins his 1v1. More than enough time still on his side, and magnificently done by the Sova player. He'll get that defuse and win the 5th round for his team.
Absolutely. Taking a little bit of a damper to that Boise State dominant performance we saw. They did 5 rounds back-to-back without losing a single one. They played spectacularly. They did exactly what they needed to do, and it showed. The scoreline now shows it. They surmounted the comeback, and they kept on to it, but CSUDH, despite not having the economy to be able to full buy, still win around, and they win it in a pretty good fashion, coming down to that 1v1. It came down to the 2v2, the 3v3, coming all the way to that penultimate 1v1 to end it off, and you do finally see CSUDH take it. And while time could have been bad, I legitimately think that you could have seen them hold for space a little bit longer. They could have baited time a little bit longer, but the aggression from CSUDH managed to pan out for them. The question is whether or not it's going to work on the defense. Is CSUDH a defensive-sided team? From what I've experienced, their BT player is, but Riley tends to struggle a little bit when it comes to defense. Doing exceptionally well with recon bolts and shock darts on the attack, just it's a little bit harder to find the right situations, right performance players to do that on the defense.
A 5-7 split isn't really a decisive side for either team, and it's still any team's game, to be completely honest. So, like you mentioned, it's going to come down to how well these teams can now work on the opposite side, because things are played completely differently, of course. You know, it's obviously the exact opposite. And right now, looks to be a rush coming out, and Your Hat will take that advantage. A great ghost kill comes out by Your Hat. Does a little bit of damage to Bad Dog across the ways, but it'll be Dream to find the second kill of that round onto Bad Dog from behind. And the spike all of a sudden being planted down as well. This is an amazing position right now for Boise State. They have the man advantage along with coverage. Or actually, no, CSUDH has it. I can't believe I just made that huge mistake, but still, the man advantage is in fact in the favor of Boise State. At least I did not make that error. Riley gets one though, trying to trade things now. A second, in fact. Can he go for the third though? He's not going to get it. It'll be Bayv to eliminate Lycan. Now they might be able to still cover down this plant. Things will get traded out by Bandit, but it's not really going to matter. In this 3-on-1 here, Riley gets a third for himself, and there's just little to time. Bandit just surrounded from every single corner. It doesn't matter if he finds one, because he's got to get another, and Shan is there to find the trade.
Yeah, Sean finishing things off in a great way, but let's talk about that flick that was attempted right there. I mean, they peeked over for it. They really just did the full twist, did the twist and shout to try and peek over to the side. I would not have anticipated Riley to be behind me, and that kind of would have caught me off guard. I absolutely would have died to it, but despite the initial plan to be Riley coming on the flank and catching them off guard, when that doesn't work out and Riley gets caught off guard themselves and loses that fight, you've got a secondary player to peek as well to just take the shot. So great teamwork and great coordination from CSUDH to kind of work in all scenarios. Fire on all cylinders, I think is the term to use. They're playing pretty well here in that pistol round. Now with the full SMG buy, they're coming out. This is Spectre Gaming. Now a rush coming through. Shan looking for an opportunity. Paint shells coming out. Your Hat taking damage through the smoke, and they will be felled because of Shan. So Sean and Bad Dog will find one as well to Dream. Baby's damaged in heal, but I don't think it's really going to matter. Abilities to heal for Phoenix will make it a little bit more easy for them to sit pretty.
It doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, CSUDH, they have the man advantage, complete control of the A bomb site now for a second time. This might just be evened up 7-7 in a matter of moments because it just appears that Boise State is just sitting ducks at the current moment. They really cannot do a single thing. The best thing for them to do, just recover themselves, get ready for the next round where they can actually full buy. Great kill comes out by Bandit, but again, it's really not doing much, not even adding insult to injury, I suppose, along with legit Soldier, but in that 1v3 in very minimal time, there isn't much for him to do except just sacrifice himself to the great bomb gods, and there we have it. Evening things up now, 7-7. Great double round win in a row for CSUDH for the second time now. They did the exact same thing on the first.
I don't know what you were watching, but that shot by Bandit was nasty. Absolutely nasty.
It was a great shot.
No, like you said, it doesn't matter that much in the end. You're right, it really doesn't matter, but that is demoralizing. That is beautiful. Drop dead gorgeous. Through the wall of shower, just boom.
That is Sheriff Gaming.
Yeah, Sheriff Gaming. We're back to Sheriff Gaming. That was such a great shot to connect through. That one is unfortunately they died almost immediately afterwards, so the clip for that's gonna be a little bit short, but you hit the clip. So I guess that's a good thing going for you. But Bandit's gonna go ahead and grab the ult orb on B long, and they're gonna have themselves sitting pretty now with Bladestorm available, but they're going to go ahead and pop it as well. So they're going to be ready to defend this B site. But a Hunter's Fury comes out. Lycan's able to kill Sean. And now Riley's attempting to get some damage off. Does tag Bandit inside that Bladestorm. But as of the current moment, with CSUDH in a one-player disadvantage and being denied of any and all information, it might be a good decision just rotate to A. But everyone on the Boise State side is just still sitting on A site, refusing to leave.
They're trying to deny this push. Bandit gets one along with Dream, so now the Bladestorm will be completely refilled. He could find another one onto BT, and it's just up to him in this 1v4. He's just trapped in the middle of container, a sitting duck. He gets one on a Dream in compensation, but he's still down a really big deficit, not even having the spike in his back pocket, and there's complete coverage. BT is, like I said, a literal sitting duck inside of this container. He peeks around up above towards Hookah, but Bandit is still there waiting for him, and legit Soldier actually finds the elimination in towards that Hookah area. So finally, a recovery round does occur for Boise State, and they reclaim their round advantage. But this time, it's only one and not three.
Now I'm going to say this, John, because I know you like to take notes. So go ahead and mark this one down. That is 2 rounds back-to-back where we see Boise State get wallbang kills. 2 rounds back-to-back, because that was a wallbang. Legit got the wallbang through the actual beatbox. So, another wallbang kill. So 2 rounds back-to-back. Interesting statistic. Apparently, CSUDH does not know you can shoot through, or just hasn't been able to connect. But a shot that misses because of the player's preference, I guess you could say, to flick to the shot instead of tracing, and it will cost them their life. So the operator in Showers taken out for the count, and a big one at that. I think they've actually picked that up for themselves and going to be bringing it to the table now. So that is very unfortunate. They actually have not picked it up, but that is a very unfortunate death for them. But I don't think it really matters at this point in time because CSUDH are trying to come in with a vengeance. Only one player lacking full armor, but they do have a man advantage.
Bad Dog did have the operator, but he ended up removing it for that Vandal once more. A little bit more of a comfort pick, and BT finds a great comfort frag. Now a 5-on-3, again, favoring CSUDH, and they just have complete control of the A bomb site. We are just seeing history repeat itself once again. Curveball comes out by legit Soldier, blinding 2. That's a great play, but it's not going to be enough. Riley around the corner gets a nice trade of 2K with the Phantom at hand, and now it's just up to Dreammaker in this 1-on-3. I've said that statement so many times because, again, history is just repeating itself, and Dreammaker is in another unwinnable position. The best option to do at this point is to save, and that's exactly what he will do. The round has already been won for CSUDH, and now it's just a constant game of tug-of-war between these two teams.
I really want to see a player for CSUDH pick back up the operator. I don't think they have. I think maybe they tossed it in their spawn. Actually,
well, they're getting ready for it, though.
But Bad Dog sitting inside TP on D short, looking for maybe a shot through, and they actually will find it. So mark it again, John. That is another wallbang. This time it's CSUDH. Apparently, somebody's sending them messages saying, hey, this caster is making fun of you because you're not, getting wallbangs. They'll find it. They'll get it. And on the difficult side to get it on as well. But I'm unfortunately a little bit upset because they did not pick up the operator, which I guess some attacking teams prefer not to have that because taking a little bit more of an aggressive style to rush onto site. But good night. I mean, That's 3 rounds back-to-back of a wall bang. I did not anticipate that coming into this.
Me neither, to be blunt with you. And oh, what a nice right click by Legit Soldier. An amazing entry, and it's followed up by another great kill by Lycan with that Spectre. And he'll trade it out for a better weapon, but Riley will deny him of finding any more kills that round. It's a 4-on-2, and it's not looking all that good for CSU DH for once, just based off the fact that they weren't anticipating that kind of aggression coming around in towards Hookah, but they'll try to make up for it. Bad Dog going for a plant, but no one's covering him except for his own smoke. Your Hat will not manage to get the kill, and it actually doesn't work out. Riley catches him off guard, and all of a sudden the tables have completely turned. Things are evened up in this 3-on-3, and again, the A bomb site is pretty much in full control on the side of CSU DH. My God, Scott, what did we just witness in those last 20 seconds of that round?
A phenomenal position to change sides. I mean, it's done just a great job. The run it back will come through, denied. Bad Dog will clean up legit, but another wall bang. Bandit, you gotta stop this. They'll find a kill. A flash comes through as Baby attempts to take some shots forward. Taken out by Dream, but Riley finds 2 through a smoke for the 4K. Finding both Bandit and Dream, and CSUDH will finally retake the lead in a 9-8 fashion. This is just dummy stats at this point in time. You cannot ask for a better Map 1 semifinal matchup.
I tallied in the upper left of my notes 5 wall bangs have we seen, and I also wrote Polgers underneath it because that's my reaction right now from witnessing that. And like I said earlier, the testament still remains true. Back and forth, game of cat and mouse if it was played by Tom and Jerry essentially, because no one is ever deemed a true victor. We're gonna have to find that out later on because it's 9-8. There's only a 1-round advantage, so it's still any team's game. I mean, they've both been playing really well, but there's also been some huge mistakes like we saw a moment ago where no one was covering the omen of Bad Dog going for that plant, but also no one was there to deny it except for Your Hat, and he missed all of his shots because he couldn't see just exactly where his opponent was due to the, I believe it was dark cover in the hands of their Omen player.
Wow, you know the name of the smoke for Omen.
I know how to read, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. To be fair, it is a really cool phrase to say, but a Hunter's Fury coming out, Riley nearly a missing Sojo. But I don't think it's really going to matter at this point in time. They did manage to tag Dream. Shock darts are attempted to go forward. They'll drop the paint shells out as well. And here comes the wall. Phoenix may be trying to keep themselves in a sitting pretty position, but here comes the run. Here comes the massive shot from the Showstopper. Shot will be refragged back by a Hunter's Fury, but Baby, close situation. Oh, the flick onto the head. Bandit out for the count, and the flash actually assists Riley to find Lycan. And it's Dream who was tagged at the beginning. Dream and Your Hat left standing. They could have just taken B site. Honestly, it would have worked out just fine for them, but they're going to go for the A anyways. It'll be Your Hat finding BT. A paranoia will make it difficult for him to see, but not in the end. Your Hat finds Bad Dog, refragged back. Riley finds Dream, and it's just Your Hat facing against Riley. They'll paranoia them out inside of A short, but this flanking player, a Baby, could catch them off guard as well. They're just playing this angle and hoping for him to make a mistake.
It's perfect coverage. They don't have to overextend themselves. Your Hat has to come to them. He'll get a 3rd for himself, but can he get the 4th? Not a lot of time. He's trying to fake out that defuse, but Baby has the curveball in hand. Actually, no, it's the hot hands. It'll actually deny the plan for a couple more seconds, but
it's enough.
It actually works.
It's enough.
There's no way that just worked out. Your Hat, regardless of the fact that he did so well with that recovery, it didn't matter because of the hot hands by Phoenix. Wow. I mean, that's gotta hurt for Your Hat. That was a spectacular 4K, but it just wasn't enough. He didn't have time on his side. Oh, wow. That's rough.
Man,
it's down bad. Took the words right out of your mouth, Scott. I'm sorry, but I had to say it.
I was actually going to say that. Yeah, that is okay. Let's talk about the genius behind that. You thought it was going to be the curveball, and I genuinely was behind you as well. But Baby throwing it out, just dropping the hot hands down, and just saying, "Hey, here we go. You're not touching this one anymore." 13 HP at the end of it, having been forced to be tagged out. No way to defuse it. Spike is down and here to stay. But so is Banner right now, sitting inside of Showers, has no one really to flank. Your Hat also is sitting in a position inside. BT going for an opportunity to cutting it off with, of course, their Cypher Cage. But unfortunate position as Bad Dog fragged out by their doppelganger of Omen, Your Hats. but the plant will be going down. A site taken quite successfully. And Urat's the only one with a proper weapon in hand besides the Sheriffs. Boise State have their work cut out for them, but they're starting off strong.
Plenty of intel was in fact gathered, but they still have to win their gunfights. It says 4 on 5, so there's not really that big of a concern for CSUDH because they have that spike down, and Sean in fact trades things out on the Dream. Run it back does in fact go through, but it hasn't found any kills just yet. Legit Solda finally getting off one, and eventually B's eliminated. So now this 2-on-2 after a clean shot by Bandit, but it doesn't matter as Sean gets the refrag almost instantaneously. It's just up to Legit Soldier, and he loses the gunfight up against BT in a last-ditch attempt to salvage the round, but it's not going to work out, and now another round win comes out as a victor for CSUDH.
2 rounds away. John,
2 rounds away? That's right.
John. This is going to be so close. If CSUDH can surmount this upset here on this map, then they have themselves sitting in a position when they can make a couple mistakes. They can take one map that they necessarily might not like. They can play a map that they're like, okay, maybe we're a little bit weaker on this map, or we don't play as well when it comes to this map, and we can kind of take this loss and then play it into a different side. But I'm taking a look over here right now at this map ban pick, and the first pick was Bind, and it was Boise State's pick. Boise State opted for Bind. Ascent is CSUDH's pick, and we know that CSUDH can pick Ascent. We know they're good at Ascent. We've seen them time and time again. I casted for them, I think, 3 times total, and I've seen them every single time in Ascent. So I think that's their map. And this could be a two and done if CSUDH just continues to come out at this level.
I mean, all 3 of these maps that we're possibly going to, they're all relatively evened up, statistically speaking, for who ends up winning them. It's mostly come down to just pure game sense and mechanical skill, and right now, CSUDH has been just superior in those 2 factors.
Just better.
They're just better. LUL in chat, Omega Lul if you have better TTV installed on your Twitch, but right now, things are actually looking very calm, considering from what we've seen in the past couple of rounds for CSUDH. They really want to make sure they get these last 2 rounds marked up as wins. That way they can just go right into the most comfortable map for them, which is Ascent, like Scott mentioned. And a run it back comes out along with From the Shadows, and nothing happening just yet other than a plant by Sean. This could completely throw off guard the defensive squad of Boise State. And Bad Dog does get blinded, but not pushed up by Legit Soldier. It's a huge blunder, but Dreammaker will make up for it, putting Bad Dog to sleep with that Onin. But Sean returns the favor almost immediately. We're back to an even man situation, and right now things are looking unstoppable for CSUDH. Along with that showstopper, it could be big, it could be massive, but it won't be. He'll win his gunfight with that Phantom in hand instead, but Legit Soldier does manage to get 2 trades, and Neural Theft now comes in trying to find any intel as quickly as possible, but Riley is there around the corner to deny it, and now we are possibly coming up into the last round of this first map, Scott.
John, I just want to say this. Neural Theft is one of my favorite ultimates in this game. It is so slapped on, but that's
so
not
good.
the position to use it. The reason why Neural Theft is so good is because it just marks everything. It is an end-all, be-all information. It's worse than Caviera Interrogate inside a Siege, because you can actually pop it and still hide and not have to stand on the body to do it, right? So
yeah.
The issue is it takes a couple seconds. It takes it time to go up. It takes it a second to activate, and you pop that while trying to transition to a more advantageous position without knowing full well where the enemy team is. You gotta wait for that. Play safe in your spot and then do that. That right there could have been an entire game changer, and unfortunately for Boise State, it wasn't. So CSUDH at this point in time, at match point, looking good, and Boise State with little to no weapons in hand, only 3 primary rifles, and they only have 4 players with full armor. CSUDH could just end it all right here.
I'm not gonna lie, I really second guess myself on if Neural Theft was actually used, because like you said, that's such a horrible position to use it in, but nope, it was used. I was right with the audio cue. It does suck to be right every now and again, doesn't it, Scott? And right now we could see some crisp shots coming up by Dream, and he'll just line him up. Great crosshair placement. It'll guarantee him that pick on the Baby. So Boise State, they may have the man advantage, but they still haven't technically denied this push coming out from the A bomb site. BT trying to gather some information with the spy cam, but it's not really able to get anything just yet. But that Hunter's Fury could get themselves a great trade, but Your Hat is just dodging every single arrow thrown at him. Your Hat picks up one, but Bad Dog, the doppelganger on Omen, will shut him down from finding another. This 3-on-4, not favoring CSUDH ultimately, but they still have a great chance of recovering, but it might be a little more difficult to do so now as Lycan gets a great headshot onto Riley, and this push has basically been completely denied. Legit Soldier with another wall bang. It's just up to the lone Omen player of Bad Dog with 8 seconds on the clock, and the spike isn't even down. I think we have finally seen a crucial round win come out in the favor of Boise State when they need it most.
Absolutely. It's going to be such a difficulty now. They've got themselves a position where they're only 3 rounds behind, right? I mean, it's still, they've got to make a comeback. They still got to play into it in their own way, but you still have yourself the ability to make this comeback, and that's going to be a big thing to keep in mind. I think that if they can just shut down CSUDH twice, because I think they're going to soft buy this time around. They're going to maybe glass cannon with some sheriffs and light armor and maybe only have 2 people with rifles to maybe even out the economy. I'm not too sure. They're not too sure. They're still trying to figure out what they want to do. And it's interesting because now Boise State can almost guarantee this next round, but think about the last round we saw for the first half where we saw CSUDH win it despite having an eco round. So it's not an end-all be-all, and if there's one team I'm expecting to win an eco round with pretty good fashion, it's probably CSUDH.
The best thing would be just to kind of save for a couple rounds and expect plays like Bandit to just kind of walk all over you, along with Legit Soldier, and Bandit again finding a second kill. A 5-on-2 pretty much from the get-go. There's still a minute left on the clock for Pete's sake, Scott, and it's all up to BT and Riley now, and they're right outside of Hookah. I don't think they can recover from this huge deficit. To be honest with you, it really does seem like Boise State is done playing these little games with their opponents right now. The Recon Bolt spots out Bandit, but he's not eliminated just yet. But a great wall bang happens regardless. Riley getting rid of Dreammaker from the occasion. Jeez, lost my sentence structure there. But still, that 2-on-4 is not looking hot at the moment for CSUDH. They might not be able to wrap up this round and bring us to a second map.
Yeah, when you've got a player sitting inside B Cubby, you've got a player in Elbow, Legit Shoulder sitting in Elbow, you've got to deal with Bandit sitting inside Cubby. You had one player, Lycan, who's holding out inside of Defender Spawn. I mean, maybe they're just trying to play for exit frags. I don't necessarily think you're trying to end all be it. Your Hat is just sitting on A site. They don't really have a plan to come over here, and these crossfire angles will be very effective. And Lycan finds BT, and, Legit from over in Elbow will be able to find out BT. But a great way to finish off that round. Now only 2 rounds below, and obviously next round is a win, a guarantor, if CSUDH can take it, and they will have the ability to full buy. Only one player is going to be bringing out, interestingly enough, a Bulldog, but I think this is a massive possibility. CSUDH can take this round and end it all, or they can continue to play this, and we may have to see it go into overtime if it comes down to it. And it's the dreaded infinite overtime, John.
I'm never a big fan of it, to be honest, and that operator selection... Yeah, that operator selection by Bandit could be huge, and we're not going to probably see that many ultimates, to be completely frank with you, Scott. There's only 3 on the board currently, unless Bad Dog or Shan just pops off, to say the least. So it probably won't happen. It's mostly going to be just pure gun skill, and guns like the operator that you don't really have to work that hard to get kills with, it's going to be rough. But Hunter's Fury, it comes out trying to pick up at least one and deny that plant, but BT really does not seem that concerned. That Hunter's Fury, a little bit of a waste, didn't do that much damage, except for onto Riley, but he gets picked off in the end by that previously mentioned operator. Lycan around the corner picks up one, but Baby is able to refrag, and we're in this 3v4 post plant. CSUDH just have to sit back and play keep away for a little while longer, but they're down the disadvantage, and there's plenty of intel to be had. That curveball comes out, blinding out Sova, but it doesn't really matter all that much. They still die up in the end, and we're in a 1-on-3 at the moment for Bad Dog. He's playing a great game of Ring Around the Rosie, stalling for a lot of time, picks up one impactful kill onto Legit Soldier, but cannot find another. That operator still in the hands of Boise State moving forward, and they'll bring us closer and closer to that dreaded infinite overtime that you also brought to the talking point.
Yeah, we come from a game that doesn't have infinite overtime because it just doesn't make sense for best of 3s, right? Now best of 1s I can see, and best of 2s I can see an infinite overtime, man. it just doesn't work for the bracket in the way most R6 leagues work. But for Valorant, it does make sense, unfortunately, and we could be here. It'd be interesting to go all the way through to the best of threes here, John, and see all three of them go into infinite overtime for a massive period. We could be here for the next 5 hours. We could just sit here, and like it's weird because we had that just the other day on R6, and now we may have it again. But I think CSUDH they're full sending. They're saying, hey, we got to. This is everything, and they're going to be forcing BTs preferring an SMG with full armor instead of maybe a rifle and soft armor, but nonetheless, 4 rifles in hand for CSUDH. Obviously now 2 operators in hand for Boise State. Dream and Bandit looking to maybe steal away some of those lives of the opposition. But here comes a run it back from Bayv, looking to step forward. They're going to be spotted out, and they're going to take a tripwire in the process, but they can find one. Looking to find a second, won't get it, but Sean was able to find Lycan, who had just taken out Bad Dog. Player sitting just below Heaven. Sean looking for maybe another opportunity, but Dream is sitting in Heaven as well, trying to shock dart position, gather information, maybe catch a player off guard, but Riley will begin the spike, and I believe we'll get it down. And now 2 players sitting inside Metal. Legit Soldier finding Sean. Now we're back to that 3v3 dreaded scenario. Riley has so much work to cut out for them. Needs just 2 kills. They're going to drop Hunter's Fury once again. But BT has the neural theft. Can pop it. Just hasn't done it yet. Has not gotten near body. Blinded out. Needing support. They both peek. Soldier finds BT and finds Riley. And Dream finds Baby. We're going overtime.
What a huge comeback coming out by the opposing side of Boise State. I am in pure shock right now, Scott, that we just witnessed them manage to turn things completely around on their own faces. Wow, and now we're going to overtime. Like you said, again, I'm stealing the words right out of your pretty mouth, and this could be a while. We saw a game of tug of war happen at the very beginning of the second half, and my goodness gracious, we could just see it happen yet again, because now we could be here forever and ever and ever. That's what Infinite stands for.
Yeah,
never ending.
Actually, I didn't know that. Thank you, actually, John.
Oh, you're welcome.
I didn't bring my dictionary. I didn't bring my thesaurus or whatever it is people read to know what words are. I usually read Reddit.
Oh, okay. That's why your brain's so big. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I've just got such a massive forehead. They used to hide with my hair. Then I got a haircut. It's a little less hidden. And then I just see my eyebrows, which is like weird, you know, it's a strange thing. Well, I got so many messages like, what's with your eyebrows? It's like, you just haven't seen it for 3 months, you know? Like, I got that quarantine haircut, you know, where it's just not any haircut whatsoever, you know, just hides the face.
Yeah, looks good on you, though.
Oh, thanks. You know what we're doing. But this round underway, the first round of the overtime, we're going to be seeing a very standard, you just armor, you know, rifle, nothing too worried about. But it looks to be a very standard split. Of course, you've got 1 player that's sitting out. I believe it's Dream. No, not Dream. Sorry. No, is it Dream? I'm a little bit dumb right now. They're kind of sitting in a position. It is Dream. They're sitting in a position in showers. You got Sean kind of making the flank, looking for an opportunity. But it definitely does seem like an A push because you've got 2 inside of Hookah looking for an opportunity. But that teleport could come through and actually catch Sean off guard if they're not careful.
Yeah, it's a lot of ifs, and we're still kind of waiting for everything to happen. No one really wants to make the first mistake because then that could just lose them the whole round, and then they're again another round away from losing. And really, no one wants that. Neither side really want that. I don't really blame them, to be completely honest. But in the last 30 seconds of the round, Sean could find the entry possibly, or Legit Soldier. He's wilding up there with the Vandal at hand and hasn't picked up anybody just yet, and it will be Sean to win that 1v1. Patience is key, and Dream does get a trade right off the bat onto Bad Dog. So we're back in an even man situation, but time is of the essence right now. These last 12 seconds, Bandit gets 1 through 2 separate smokes, but the paint shells from 6 feet under, the Martyrdom, if you want to call it that, will get another, and oh my goodness! What just happened? Dream popping off when it matters most. Give him the 4K, and now we might see the advantage be back in the favor of Boise State. Wow.
Yeah, that is not luck, pure skill. That was definitely not a Dream 7.3 billion probability, you know, 1 out of 7.3 billion probability moment. That was definitely Dream with a massive spray transfer, finding so much success. I mean, they have just kind of put a giant nail in the coffin. There's a massive target that's now going to be on Dream's head. And I called it. The information had to be there. Dream cleared entirely of a site and just played it. And apparently that recon dart, you know, bounce kind of caught Dream off guard there. But it looks to be that CSUDH have kind of committing towards this B site. They've got 3 looking for an opportunity on that courtyard of B, looking to step up from Fountain, maybe trying to play B long as well, but 2 players in hookah will make it a little bit difficult as they're trying to peek towards window. Paint shells do go out. Sean going in very aggressively, now on high ground in a phenomenal position, and they have the ability to plan, but players sitting inside elbow and players sitting inside B hall will make it a little bit more difficult for them.
Can't believe the plan's going down in a 5-on-5. What on earth is this? But finally, it's not going to be a 5-on-5 anymore. Make it now a 4-on-3 and 3-on-3. Sean gets another refrag. It's just a constant back and forth. A game of cat and mouse like I referred to earlier. But Bad Dog has no idea that he's being hunted down. Like it in your hat will get kills of their own as well. Now in a 1v1 in a last-ditch attempt will try to keep his team alive in this first map. He gets one on a Lycan, but he's got to find one more. But he can just sit in the back and wait for his opponent to push up on him, though. Won't work out for him. Your hat actually wins his 1v1 and will get the defuse. And finally, we're off of the map for Bind, and we will move forward to the second map.
Wow, that actually was an amazing comeback once again. We saw it in the first half where we saw 5 rounds back-to-back coming from Boise State, and they had to do basically the exact same thing, and they just won double back-to-back in overtime. I mean, insane. I mean, by all accounts, they played great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six rounds back-to-back right there to make the return. They did a 5er back-to-back, brought it into a 6er back-to-back at the end, and that is just a phenomenal statistic for them. How many wall bangs did we end off with there, fellow?
Oh, so many more than I even tallied. It was a lot. I honestly kind of stopped. It probably over 7 for sure. And that's only when I started counting in the second half. It's
insane.
A ton, but we're not going to stall for that long. We'll go into an ad break and then we'll return pretty much instantly for the second map of Ascent.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Welcome back, everybody, to NECC, the last matchup for this evening, at least the semifinals between CSUDH and Boise State. My name is Fellow, also joined here by Infernosis, if you needed a little reminder. And what a great performance by Boise State, 14-12. They brought it back from a mighty fine deficit that they had up against their opponents, but it didn't matter. In the end, it worked out for them. And now CSUDH, they're on the back burner. They got to win their selected map of Ascent if they want to end up winning out this semifinal and go to the third and final map of Haven.
Yeah, we know Ascent very well for CSUDH. Like, I've obviously
They
cast
really
it
like that map.
at least one more time than you have for CSUDH. And every single time I've seen that, it has been spectacular for them. Ascent has gone so well. This is the map where in 10 rounds, Riley had 18 assists. 18 assists. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication. Well, you might need to exit out of the menu to make it fix and then just rejoin.
Okay,
It's a AAA game. Show doesn't act like it sometimes, but he yelled at me earlier for it as well. Don't worry. And I was still in the menu.
Still say I am.
Sorry, a little production issue. You can't jump into the lobby because it's bugging out for us. But Ascent is such a great map for CSUDH. Like I said, like 10 rounds in, maybe a little bit more. Riley had 18 assists, and then the next game popped up for like 24 kills. Like, it's kind of a nasty stat. It's something that is just not anticipated by a lot of people. You're not online for me, Fellow, and it kind of becomes a difficulty.
Guess I'm restarting my game then, because Valorant doesn't like me at all. That was weird.
Is really not kind to you. First computer
I
problem,
was,
and then the game won't launch for you, and then
yeah, I don't get it.
Ooh, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself inside the game. We're saying Fellow is a bot, you know.
I am. That is actually
Sean,
true.
by
I'm
the way.
horrible at this game.
It wasn't our producer, it was Sean. So if you're gonna take it out on somebody, take it out on Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah,
that's okay. He's a good player. He can get away with those kind of nasty comments. It's okay. I'm fine with it. He played pretty good. He played a good raise.
Yeah, Sean did great. Sean does great every
time. He
time.
always does great. Yeah, he's a really good
Sean's
player.
always the player for that side that does it. But this is another thing that I talked about, like for CSUDH, BT. You know who didn't have a great game? It's BT, and it comes down to the wire. I mean, when you're not having a great game, I think they had 7 kills when the halftime switched and they were on defense, and I think they ended off with 10. Right? It wasn't the most spectacular game for them. And it's kind of just what happens. It's kind of BT is one of those players, if they're uncomfortable, then they look uncomfortable. But BT is also one of those players that on Ascent can look really good, because BT is a really good player on the defense when it comes to Cypher. So I'm really looking forward to what that's going to happen. Really looking forward to how it's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. Are you in?
I am clicking on join party.
Oh,
I am back in.
It says you're in game.
What?
It's allowing him to start.
Oh,
there
okay. Well, we fixed
good.
the bug. Wouldn't let me leave either. Yeah, Valorant just doesn't like me. It's okay though. At least the show will continue to go on with no more issues now. That's okay. Only a minor delay, but it happens. We come from Rainbow Six where there's plenty of rehosts and pauses due to sound bugs. It's up our avenue. But I do apologize for Caleb.
Wasn't there a huge game today or like last night for Valorant where it was like with VCTs? And the observer, or the person who was running the lobby, the round restart button is like right next to the game end, the map end button, and he clicked on the map end button, so they had to spend 30 minutes plus manually resetting everyone's money, weapons, stats. I mean, they had to do everything.
Ouch!
It was crazy. It was like a 30-minute break on the broadcast because of that. That was crazy.
Wow, that is, ouch. I honestly have no words after hearing that. It makes me feel a bit better though, so thank you. I appreciate that. But
yeah, you're not a big
lot of hard selections.
Some other people are, so you know.
Yeah,
like
you know what?
It's
okay.
Big mistake
a lot of hard
because now I'm everywhere and you can't get rid of me.
Oh no. My greatest enemy and also friend. It's weird how that works. Infernosis.
Thanks, John.
Select your agent.
You're welcome. And plenty of agent selections have already happened. The only one who hasn't picked up until now is Bandit, but everything's selected. Only one Jet again, and only one Cypher, but that's okay. But Reyna on the board.
Lycan's going to pick up Killjoy again instead of Cypher. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of a difference there. Legit Soldier still on the Phoenix, nothing too shocking. Dreammaker, if you switch off the Sova, then I don't know what you're doing. Sean's going to go to the Jets, nothing too shocking there as well. I mean, they played fairly well previously, but Jets more their tempo. The speed is more their tempo. So nothing dangerous around the bin. But in all honesty, when you've got Bad Dog and Your Hat, which are really strong Omen players, and you've got two really strong Sova players of Riley and Dream, then you can build a team around them. You can build a team to kind of assist your control, to assist your information, and it can work really well. So I think the match is really going to be determined about whether the Killjoy is better than your Cypher, and which opening Reyna can pop off just a little bit more.
Yeah, because it's kind of the same. You still have plenty of intel to gather on both sides. It's just, again, I mentioned this all the way at the beginning of the matchup. It's just personal preference, and so far, at least that's been a pretty good decisive factor for Boise State, and they're going to be actually, I think they are now defending on first, so it's a little bit different compared to what they started off from the beginning, but still plenty of frags coming out on both sides. BT with the entry, but Dream will get one. It doesn't really matter, though, as Bad Dog and Sean pick up kills of their own, and now we can have CSUDH go for that plant. Again, a lot of aggression on the A bomb site. Maybe a different map, but it's still pretty much the same bomb site, which I find a little bit hysterical. And now the 4-on-2 heavily favoring the previously mentioned CSUDH. It's going to be a tough retake to come into effect by Boise State, but at least they get one onto Riley in compensation.
Yeah, Lycan connecting and now setting up a 3v2, and Lycan's maybe going to stop up towards window to shoot out the glass, kind of, having their pick of the litter, I guess you could say, but this might be the runt of the litter as well, so you need to be a little bit careful. You've got Bad Dog behind, could catch you off guard. They're sitting ready to maybe catch you if you step forward, because they're sitting in a phenomenal position to contest. They're sitting inside their own smoke screen. He'll take a headshot by Your Hat, and Lycan will finish the kill. They'll hop on Diffuser, but Baby finds both onto Lycan and Your Hats, and they'll both be felled by the spike, but unfortunately, I don't think it really matters, because CSUDH taking that W, they're going to look pretty spicy for it, so more than likely going to be 2 rounds back-to-back for them.
It didn't matter because we're still going to see pistols come out for Boise State, and we're still going to see basically a full Spectre buy coming out by CSUDH, and I'm correct, so hooray, good job for me, because all 5 players have Spectres, and the other 5 on the opposing side have pistols. I mean, that's what you have to do. Spectre, it's real Spectre hours right now, if you didn't know. Just a quickly reminder, but because of that pistol save coming out by Boise State, they will most likely go for that full buy that we saw time and time again on Bind. I mean, you do it all the time. It's the basic. It's the default strategy. Call it that.
Yeah, and you're going to see Legit Soldier kind of sitting inside a tree, waiting to maybe step towards the A site. Riley will find the first kill, connecting and clearing, as well as Bad Dog finds Lycan. BT watching the rear, finds 2 in a Dream and Bandit, and now it's just Your Hat. Currently sitting by Courtyard, trying to watch top mid as BT kind of getting a little bit close, but with only the base pistol in hand, it's not going to matter. BT getting more kills already in this match than I think they had in the entire second half of that last map. 4 kills already, looking really spicy for themselves. CSUDH, this is an expected thing for them. Ascent is theirs. They take round 1. You're more than likely going to take round 2. It's just really all comes down to round 3, because this is where you're going to see Boise just say, yeah, here comes Rifle Gaming.
3 times in a row, we've seen CSUDH win the first 2 rounds, and then knocking on their door is the full buy of Boise State, which is most likely going to outgun these Spectres, but there's still a pretty decent chance for CSUDH, and if they get a kill, that's great. It crumbles at least somebody on the opposing side for their economy, and BT will do just that on the Lycan. It's almost as if I predicted that, and if he wants to pick up that ultimate orb, he can get Neural Theft, which can be great to gather intel on that dead body, and oh my goodness, I'm a prophet because he does just that, and this is such a great advantage for CSUDH. They might break away from that common deviation and actually win their 3rd round simply because of A, that entry, and B, the amount of intel they were able to gather off from that previously mentioned entry. And on top of that, they get the spike planted down. It doesn't matter that they no longer have the man advantage because they have that site control. They just have to win these next couple of gun confrontations and keep this bomb site in their control in order to win a 3rd round in a row. But it's a complete suicide mission. Bandit picks up 1, and a push comes out by Dreammaker as well. A great wall bang with that Odin in hand. He's just marching his way right into the bomb site, and now the tables have turned. They have complete coverage, and in the 4v0, they have the time to defuse, and now it's still going to be 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the plan.
Thought it
come
would've
through,
changed, but I
at
guess
the
not.
very least here, Chad, they get the money for it. They get the money for planting Spike. They have that, and it doesn't really matter because I mean they're gonna have money to full buy, but still, it's a little bit of a wallet increase. You get a little bit fatter of a wallet, but the question is whether or not that's a fat with an F or a fat with a PH. And you could have won that, and it would have been a PH fat, but unfortunately, it's looking more like just a very normal fat. But this Odin in the hands of Dream, it's something to kind of be reckoned with. They're gathering information with recon bolts. They're gathering information using these Killjoy utilities with turret and alarm bot and all this other utility. They're able to get wall bang after wall bang and find all these kills and just cut off angles. And despite CSUDH having the plant, they don't have the round because Boise can just retake it in a flawless way at that.
That's the best thing to do. Just use the Odin just to spray and pray through literally anything and use your recon arrow or owl drone to gather as much intel and then just try to get a kill off of that. And I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I'm a huge Sova stan. So the more I get to see him, the merrier. And that's why I'm so glad he's one of the most picked agents in this game, other than probably Jet, for example. But right now, looks to be an A-sided push coming out for CSUDH. It's worked for them time and time again up until that last round where they weren't able to outlast the retake coming out by Boise State. But stun coming out by Baby, at least impairing them with that gigantic eyeball. And that's going to allow them to get into the bomb site and go for that previously mentioned plant. And now we're going to see another retake come into effect. But it appears that Boise State has already started the party early. They get two very impactful frags, and now they have a great man advantage. They can be very patient about this retake. Hunter's Fury comes out, but Legit Soldier and Your Hat pick up the last two kills, or last three, my mistake, before he can even get one with that gigantic bow and arrow. And now things are completely evened up 2-2.
Flawless, John.
Very impressive.
Flawless.
No one died. They keep their weapons and make even more money. They got their money up, Scott, but not their funny up.
We
That's
cash
all for
gaming right
CSUDH.
now. We cash gaming right now.
That never
It's gonna
gets
be the
old.
shtick
That
for us
never
the
gets
entire
old.
time. Absolutely. I mean, this is looking great for them. I mean, obviously, if you lose the first round, you're expected to lose the second. And the first round's a toss-up. It's really just like, it just comes down to if you, like, the defending a rush or if you're not defending a rush. And it worked out where we saw a CSUDH rush, and we're not able to be defended against. But that A push has just not been working. I think they're fully going to be able to try to decide to go towards B, but when a Killjoy has so much utility set up, when you've got turret, you've got so many possible abilities. I mean, an alarm bot to alert you when they're coming through, you try to step through and you get nano swarmed, also debilitates you and really damages you in the process. There's so much utility that a Killjoy brings to the table that a Cypher can do, but kind of a little less favored. It's interesting. Dream attempting to kill through a wall with an Odin, but just stops. It's interesting, but it's not going to really matter. A wall bang, mark it in the record sheet. Bandit finds Sean, and that's going to be the player inside Puppy as they were trying to make that rotation through, and now Bad Dog is going to have to do the same thing, coming up towards Catwalk, maybe hoping for a refrag onto Bandit, but right behind Bandit is Legit Soldier to try and maybe refrag the refrag. So a 2-2 split for the CSUDH side, and really no works for actually pushing an objective.
Boise State have been able to find this entry a couple of times now, and it's really just stopped CSUDH dead in their tracks. They'll try to go for a half and half push. BT is just here as a debate, but it's really not working out that well. The Devour comes out by Bayv, and that will catch Lycan off guard, and now he's able to heal himself all the way back up to full HP, and the bomb is not down. Your Hat kills Carrier, I believe it to be, so that's going to be even more time wasted, and there's only just about 10 seconds left. Run it back comes out, but Legit Soldier is there to deny it. He wraps around the corner at just the right moment. BT and Your Hat just fragging out in these last couple of moments, and for the moment, it appears that Boise State will mark it off of that the most as they get their third round win in a row. As a matter of fact, they are doing just fine up against CSUDH's favorable map.
Ouch.
Or favorited? Yeah, still an ouch though. Favorited, favorable? Don't know.
I'd say
Don't care.
favored map. Right. Their
Yes.
preferred map. It's their favorite. But I'll tell you what,
Okay.
this is not a favoring position. Favoring?
No.
All right, what would you say? This is not a.
I honestly, I don't even know. You just continue. I do appreciate the help.
No, I want to find the best. I want to find the best lingo for this. Where can I bring out the best?
Preferred is probably the best thing, like you mentioned. Preferred. It just removes all the chances of is favorable, is favored, the correct way to say it. No, just say preferred.
This is the least good situation.
Yes.
CSUDH.
Brilliant.
They've got no money, a giant big brain caster that's forced to learn English in front of them. And on top of that, they're just not able to find much. BT, who we haven't seen much from in the last map, we've seen nothing but in this one. It's just interesting to see. The rest of the team has to show up because otherwise BT's kind of be left for their lonesome. And anyone that was assisting Bay V is now a little bit left for their lonesome. And that was the players that were stepping all the way over towards that side of A main, felled quite quickly by a player predisposed, but a 2-1-2 split for the current defensive side. You got a player, legit soldier, sitting inside Puppy. You've got your Sova player of Dream holding out that mid-market, maybe looking for an opportunity as well, but it seems to be a full B-sided push. They'll step through. Draft does come through as they try to take an aggressive step. Bladestorm will be denied as Your Hat and Bandit find themselves more. Your Hat finding BT, but Bandit killed by Riley, and it's not going to matter. The old and wielding Dream finds the refrag. CSUDH, they got to change up something.
And I don't really know what it is, to be honest. I guess just don't lose your entry. But it's really difficult when you just have pistols and marshals to work with against full buys, because Boise State has been doing everything perfectly and hasn't had to rebuy up until now, I guess. And it was only on one player, so it's really rough right now for CSUDH. They're down a 2-round deficit, and their economy is just devastating. I mean, they can full buy except for BT, who's going to have to opt for a Spectre, but at least they have an Operator in the hands of Shan, and it works out for them so much better than they anticipated. There goes your entry that you desperately needed to start opening up that space, and now they might have what it takes, Scott, to bring things back, but it would be nice to have at least another kill in your back pocket to really emphasize the fact that you have control of this 7th round.
Absolutely. I think the biggest issue you're going to have to deal with right now if you're on Boise State is just not getting too down bad from the kill, right? It's just one kill at the start. You lost a player inside Cubby. You lost that puppy dog player trying to maybe frag towards Visa, maybe trying to take a player in Link, but it seems to be a B-sided push. You're seeing players inside of this B main. BT looking for an opportunity, does tag Your Hat in the process, and Your Hat is forced to kind of step down from their position and now head to site, but I'm not too sure that Boathouse is necessarily the position to be in, and it's not going to be. They're going to sit below Catwalk. They're going to be sitting in a position where they can kind of lay down low, crouch it up, and play that. I think you've bounded to C, right? C gaming, you like to rebind your crouch key, but as of the current moment, Bandit sitting inside Garden looking for a chance to contest towards Tree, sees Riley, tags him with the Odin, but it's not going to matter. Sean also misses the shot with the Operator. And Bad Dog will begin the plant in CSUDH in a post-plant scenario.
I'm surprised that they were able to get that plant down, and we've come back to our old roots a couple of rounds ago, and it does actually have a matter of fact that CSUDH has that man advantage. BT will get a trade, but Tree Maker spraying and praying. Doesn't matter that he's currently blinded. He'll still get the kill with that Odin. Your Hat gets another, though, and BT finds a third for himself, but he doesn't get eliminated by Your Hat, like I just mentioned. Paranoia, great work there by Your Hat in this 1-versus-1, but he can't confirm the kill, so Bad Dog still has a fighting chance, but no! Your Hat spots out the arm and gets the defuse in just the nick of time. A great recovery round by Your Hat, and it's still nothing but complete losses on the side of CSUDH. You hate to see it.
He flexing.
He flexing hard right now.
This is
he got the Yankee with no brim.
He
Got you good. I got you.
Your meme repertoire is just so flexed out. I mean, I just yoink one every other few rounds.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like listen. I use Reddit as much as the next guy, but you're like 6 months ahead of half the memes. It's interesting. Maybe that's because you're still in high school, right? Like maybe that's because you're like, well, you're about to graduate. But it's just because you're young. Maybe that's the experience for it. But honestly, I don't think it's a big deal. I can just steal from him. I'm not too worried about it. But Lycan's going to get the Owl Drone to spot them out. Now Recon bolted and attempting to spray through the wall they just closed and are forced to clear that one out. But it did save their life just narrowly. But CSUDH have a pretty substantial control as they have control up on Catwalk and they have control of site. But Lycan will devastate BT, their top player in this matchup, and make it a little bit more difficult for CSUDH.
Oh, the lockdown comes along with Hunter's Fury. Lycan and Bandito really don't seem to care. They pick up a ton of kills, and so does Legit Soldier. Almost another onto Riley, but he picks up 2 with the Sheriff. However, it doesn't matter. He still loses the round for his team because he had to find 4 in total, and Dreammaker gets that defuse along with your hat by his side for the moral support. And now it appears that Boise State is up by 4 rounds currently. It doesn't matter that we've seen this spike go down. Boise State is anticipating that, and they're able just to reclaim the bomb site pretty much on the turn of a dime, basically. It really hasn't concerned them whatsoever, and it's been proven that time and time again. After that full buy that they had, they've just been on a tear. Nothing's been stopping them. Literally nothing.
Ain't nothing stopping nobody. Ain't nothing stopping nobody. But I tell you what's not going to be stopped is to this current moment. I mean, it's your hat, right? I mean, they finally caught up to BT. They've won clutch situations. And meanwhile, with CSUDH have been able to plant so many times. I mean, 4 times have we seen this side of Boise make the return and defuse to win. Which is just a weird statistic. It's a weird stat to see, but a full stage push once again going to A side. They're trying to plant quickly once again, but Dream with the Odin finds and connects to Sean. And now they're trying to go up on this catwalk and maybe try and find some success. They'll find BT, now spraying through main once again, trying to damage out. Does tag a little bit, but this Spy Owl drone will not be able to do much more. Riley kills himself with a shock dart, and Soldier goes for Baby, cleaning up the kills. Now the player in hell, they're aware of the position and just need to finish it off. Lycan alarm bots and finds it. And yet another spectacular finish for Boise State.
I mean, I don't blame them. They're just lost right now. But can you really blame them? Dream with that Odin has just been such a menace. I'm surprised he didn't kill Riley because he was on a sliver, a fraction of HP. He was just 1 shot away from meeting his maker. That would have been an amazing triple kill, but it did the job just fine, only picking up 2. And the reclaimage of the site happened again. We're just seeing history repeat itself time and time again. Now, I'm no historian, but pretty accurate is what happens in normal life. I mean, it's just a series of unfortunate events for CSUDH, but I can't say the same thing for Boise State. Oh my goodness, returning the favor from a couple rounds prior in the hands of Sean, as now Bandit gets that opening kill with the operator. And wow, this again is just stopping CSUDH dead in their tracks, and Hunter's Fury almost picking up some damage. It picks up 2 at the very end and gets 1 eventually onto BT. Already a 5-on-3, and there's still 1 minute and 10 on the clock. It's impressive.
Reclaimage. Sorry, I'm still stuck on that. Oh my god, Bandit! With just a little bit of information, finds the kill. Oh my goodness, there is almost no chance for CSUDH to reclaimage this round. There is going to be no reclamation proclamation whatsoever, but Legit Soldier finding Sean and Lycan finding Baby, and yet another flawless victory. I mean, they are just nearly unstoppable at this point in time. We saw them do a 5-round back-to-back and then a 6-round back-to-back, and they're sitting pretty right now with an 8-round back-to-back. Boise, you have stolen this match so far, and I don't know if CSUDH can pull the same thing off on their defensive half.
Right now, it's looking to be a massacre, Scott. We haven't seen a round win come out by CSUDH in a long time. Since the first 2 rounds. 8 flawless rounds in a row right now. And a couple player flawless rounds as well. It's just, I'm astonished as to how well Boise State is playing on the map that CSUDH picked, for Pete's sake. And they're going to get the entry once more, but not as lucky as Baby does trade things out. But it doesn't really concern the rest of their players. Lycan finds 2 impactful kills, and Bandit found 1 right beforehand. He tries to get 1 again with the Sheriff this time, and it works out for him. Amazing marksmanship on whatever gun you give this poor man. And now it's 9-round wins in a row. And another one before we head to the second half.
fresh. I mean, can you ask for a better stat sheet than this right now? I mean, come on.
Really
You've got
can't.
2 players with 10, 2 players with 9. Legit Shoulder lagging a little bit behind, but still 8 kills to their name. This is gotta be just devastating for CSUDH right now. They played spectacularly on not even their map choice. They played so well, it honestly could have been theirs. And I'm not shocked we're seeing a timeout. I'm not shocked we're seeing them have to maybe think this through. It could very well be like, troubleshooting timeout. I don't think it is. I think they have to take a pause, think things through, maybe converse for a second longer and maybe decide what is really going to be what works for you, because this ain't it. This ain't working. Something's got to change, and it's got to change now, or it's going to be a do or die change on your defense.
I mean, it's only 4 more rounds until we could see a victor come out in terms of Boise State winning 13-2. And let's say that they win this round along with the first 2 rounds, then that is literally a round away from just taking all of your victories and moving into the grand finals a couple days away now. It's not something that you want to look at if you're on the side of CSUDH, because A, you have to win this map, and B, it's going to take a while for you to do that if you actually end up going on that quote unquote revenge tour that I mentioned at the very beginning of our broadcast. So like you said, they've got a lot to think about. Only 1 more round until we go into the second half. And like I said, if they lose this, it's a 8-round deficit. That's a big number, man. We're getting to that threshold where I stop knowing how to count.
Yeah.
So Boise State either have to win this and I start guessing, or we have to see some redemption rounds come out on the side of CSUDH. Either one would be pretty.
I'm running out of fingers. Yeah, I'm running out of fingers to count with. It's getting difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna start bringing my toes in as well. It's getting a little bit difficult, but this round will get started away. But this is an interesting thing to bring up to the points. I mean, CSUDH underdogged their. Okay, Riley, finding a refrag through. They were able to deny the Odin on Odin Gaming, and BT as well will find a Bandit. And now as a paranoia from your hat will be thrown out. Bad Dog will toss their own, but it won't connect. Instead, he'll find it with the Vandal. Refragged back by an operator. Sean connecting. It's just going to be Lycan and Legit Soldier left. Legit Soldier coming in from that defender spawn. Lycan looking to step in through market, but I'm not sure of this position as is the current moment because someone's sitting down in pocket. They'll teleport from the shadows from behind, and Sean is felled once again, but Legit Soldier, oh my god, Lycan with another shot! This could be going down as the lockdown put into effect. It's Baby in a 1v2. CSUDH had everything going for them, but now they don't. This lockdown just 3 seconds away, but it's not gonna matter because Legit Soldier ends it off. And oh my god, a 10-2 scoreline. That is the worst round we've seen CSUDH unfortunately be felled in.
Absolutely no chance we just witnessed that massacre in the middle of the bomb site. Wow. I mean, the stars were aligning for CSUDH, and they lost it in the end.
The constellations lied.
I really thought that. I know that's.
I said it because I'm a Taurus, but I'm also not a. I'm not a. I'm not that kind of guy. So like,
not many people really know. It's okay.
I do want to make a point. So I was making the point before Riley got a nice shot in between the wall with the Odin, but it's been underdog week, right? Last week was underdog week.
Oh yeah, it was underdog week.
You saw FGCU. They came in and beat out JW Blue, which was. They were the underdog. They were 5th seed against 4th seed. We saw CSUDH 7th seed against 2nd seed. Florida Atlantic, they won. This time would have been another one, but FGCU felled by UC Davis, if I remember correctly. And now CSUDH about to be felled by Boise State if it gets a little bit too wild and they continue this spree. Last week was underdog gaming. This one's not underdog gaming. This is top dogs showing why they're top dogs.
Yeah, they really want to end off this second map and just get themselves ready for the grand finals. Plenty of homework following up probably after that, as it is coming to the end of the school year for most as well inside of college. But enough of the side conversation. Let's get back into the round. There's only about a minute left, and Shock Bolts come out trying to remove Baby from his position, along with a curveball, which works out perfectly. And there we have it. The entry, in fact, favoring Boise State, a 2-time here, as Dream picks up a second onto Bad Dog. And they're going to get ready to go for that plant. There isn't really much stopping them in their tracks other than BT in the middle of hell as he eliminates legit Soldier from the equation. But now that spike being planted, still down the man advantage as well. This is going to have to be a miracle play coming up by CSUDH, and right now that's not going to be the case up until now as Sean gets one onto your hat and a second, but he's not going to get a third. Bandit with 2 quick pickup kills onto both Sean and Riley is going to make things 11-2, and even though we have seen time and time again CSUDH win these first pistol rounds, they're finally going to have that cycle broken and taken away from their hands.
Are we going to see 11? We've already seen 11 rounds back to back, and that's an easy statistic to count because it's just 11.
We've seen 13-0s before.
Yeah, but like at this point in time, we could actually see with how hot Boise is looking, we could see Boise come in full swing. And another thing to take a look at right now, CSUDH, they bought. They feel desperate enough that they have to buy, and I honestly think that's a good choice. So no matter what, if Boise wins this, then CSUDH are going to have no money and mo problems for that next round, which will be that guarantor match point round. Boise State, they could just easily clean this up if they just catch CSUDH off guard like they have been doing so consistently.
This is for all the marbles right now, and we can really see the desperation coming up by CSUDH. They haven't won a single round in such a long time. It's so disheartening to witness them. I was rooting for them such a long time ago, but now they are really just in such a horrible predicament. Bandit as well, adding even more cuts to the already wounded soldier. There goes the great entry coming out again, and he almost find another one, but he's going to be blinded there by the Omen ability, and instead just walks right into the site. The plant could possibly come down. Sean gets one in desperation, but Baby loses his body to your hat as he picks up 2. It's looking all but hopeless now. We're in another 4-on-2, Scott, and I just think that CSUDH has run out of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, the flame has to die out at some point, and it's looking like it will. I mean, this is hemorrhaging at its finest. The wound has been festering, and CSUDH have not found a bandage. They have not been able to find the gauze to stop it. No new skin, Neosporin, nothing. They have not even found an Advil to stop the headache that has been the opposing side. Advil? Yeah, I mean, Tylenol? I mean, they found nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benadryl?
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're not even sleeping well. Like, I mean, they have not gotten anything.
They're going to slip by bullets.
At this point, if they get one round, if they manage to win this round, at the least, it's probably just a Hello Kitty Band-Aid because they just need one. Boise State, they have full SMG buy once again, CSUDH, Sheriff Gaming, Spectre Gaming, once again bringing out the judge, looking to be that judge, jury, and executioner, but Sean did not so hot on that first half, despite playing very well in map 1, and it is definitely shown for them. First kill dropping through, legit Soldier finding Bad Dog, cut off inside of this A main. And we may see once again BT finding a kill now into Lycan at bottom mid, right outside market. The Bandit sitting inside pocket of courtyard may be able to step themselves in a position to retake and actually plant towards A, but I mean, at this point in time, Boise just needs to get the frags.
It's all they got going for them, and they're at the edge of the wall here. They can no longer back up. It's either make or break in this position, and they're well aware of that. They'll try to deny this push coming out in towards the A bomb site, but plenty of intel being gathered at the exact same time. They're just slowly marching into the underworld at this point. Spike being planted by Bandit. It'll be sick, but only a matter of time before they see that push come out by CSUDH, and they'll try to at least make up for it somehow, and it's going to be in terms of that judge. Blade Storm comes out, but it's not going to work at all. He completely misses, but luckily Riley and BT pick up the slack. We're in a 1 versus 2 now. Legit Soldier having to ace, but oh my goodness! Oh, no way, Legit Soldier! He's not even going to give 1 in compensation. He wants to end it right here, right now, in a flawless 13-0, essentially. Oh my goodness. We had insult to injury, man.
Oh my goodness. The ace to finish off a 13-2 stat line game after an overtime clutch win in a 6 return clutch in a 6 return match. I mean, that is, oh, good night.
Wow, man.
By every means of the word, that is devastating. And to finish it off, Legit Soldier, who by every account should have been probably 6th on the leaderboard or 5th on the leaderboard, or whatever you want to call it. They didn't have like the most spectacular game, getting 5 in the last round. They went from an 11 kill stat sheet tied with Lycan to the 16. They're second place in the match, just below BT, who, much like on map 1, didn't do hot at all, but played out of their mind on map 2. It just felt like the rest of CSUDH were not able to find that same level of success. They were just getting countered and shut down at every turn. It looked like Boise State got about 2 years of VOD review in on CSUDH in between map 1 and map 2, because they came out gunning and shut down everyone but BT.
Yeah, you really hate to see it. I was rooting for the underdog, and sadly, they don't always win it. But we're going to go on a little break, and maybe we'll return with an interview. I believe you will be, but we hope you all have a great rest of your evening. If not, and if we do, no interview?
Production? What was that?
No interview? All right. Well, we're going to end it off here then. It's been a long night, so we hope you all get some rest.
Let's make one point here. In production, this is true, right? UC Davis did beat FGCU earlier. So the finals match on April 27th, that is the tentative date, is going to be your Boise State one side with Legit Soldier Dream, Your Hat Bandit, and Lycan facing off against that number 1 seeded UC Davis. While Florida Atlantic, the second seed, was felled in the quarterfinals. Semifinal team Boise State will not be Underdog Gaming, and they're going to make it to the finals. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a matchup of the days of the ages. That first seed versus the third seed. Winner will take all. Looking forward to seeing each and every single one of you there. My name is Infernosis, joined here by Fellow, and we will, in fact, be seeing you in the next one.